Everyone, welcome back. We are, as always, going to be relaxing for just a little bit to let the soldiers form the ranks, as it were. But yes, we're back. Sorry, there was a little bit of a break. That was on my end. I had a lot of moving to do last week, and though I finished it just before the Monday cutoff, I was so tired. I'm like, you know what? Should take the night off. Peace. But we're back, and happy October, everyone. Happy Indigenous Peoples Days if you're American. And again, happy Spooky Month if you're a goth. This is our most powerful month. But aside from that, I am here joined by my fellow friends and role players. So we'll just take a moment again to let the kind people who are filing in slowly or checking out the pod later, who you are, what you're up to, and again, if you want to plug yourself, go ahead. If you don't, that's fine. And we'll start off with you, Bosco.
Hello. You can find me at EdBoscoVA on both Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and right here on twitch.tv/EdwardBosco, where tomorrow is going to be the conclusion of Halo Reach Lasso Edition with all of these fine folks, Zan, Level 1 Eevee, and Artsy Heartsy. You'll get to hear from them in a second. Really excited. We're on the last checkpoint of the last mission. I'm super stoked. Also, I will be doing a special stream of Billy Bust Up. The demo came out. I'm going to be bringing the cast and crew on. So we're going to have the creators on. We're going to be having Michael Kovac on, Gabriel Brown, who you know is Black Griffin, and a bunch of other friends that you guys should come check out. We're going to be doing that at noon p.m. PST. So it's going to be a long day for me tomorrow. Wednesday is going to be some more Ravenloft. Session 1 was a smashing success, for me at least. The party realized that their friend is gone, and they must now find them and take out this ruler of a demiplane. So if you haven't seen the full episode, check it out. It's going up on YouTube. What?
Was Grimharl kidnapped?
Oh, yeah. You should watch the episode.
Oh, no.
Grimharl is no longer there.
Oh, my God. I'm getting turned into a hamburger.
It's Dude. So the episode title was Dude, Where's My Cow? It's so great. It actually, I said that I had a story ready for whether you showed up or not, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to lean into them not being there. It makes perfect sense. They basically had a note, and they said, well, you took something from me, so I took something from you, and they took you. The Duchess is not happy with you guys, so they took Grimharl.
No.
Yeah.
Grimharl got cattle rustled.
Yep.
I got wrangled.
Yeah, so session 2 is going to be on Wednesday. I'm really excited. The players like the little twist. Thursday is Throwback Thursday. We're doing Legacy of Kain. So we're doing Soul Reaver. Connor showed up. I told him. So Connor McKinley, Distortion Devil that you guys know, he might show up as well. I might try to get him on for an episode if we can. Friday is going to be more wrestling. Saturday is going to be Yakuza with Connor over on Distortion Devil's channel, as well as, what do I do at night? Gobtober, that's the thing. Sunday I'm off, leave me alone. Monday is Mass Effect Mondays, and I'll be right back here for more of this. That's me.
All right, and Monty's good friend Shay.
Mine's going to be a lot shorter, but happy Thanksgiving to any of the Canadians out there, as it is Thanksgiving Day. Woo!
Happy Box Day.
Happy turkey, lasagna, and Chinese, Japanese food day, because that's what I had all weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. Lasagna is what we have in the Italian household for Thanksgiving. So yeah, you can find me here on Mondays, and you can find me on Monty's channel on Thursdays in the Dungeon of the Angry Mad Mage. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I am.
All right, and Level 1 Eevee.
Hello.
Nice, and Monty Glue.
Hi, you can find me. I just want to point out, Bosco, Billy Bust Up. One of my favorite artists did fan art for Billy Bust Up.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You should come swing by the stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't played the demo, and I'm probably going to be awful.
I haven't played it, but I've heard some of the music from it, which is quite good.
Yeah.
So.
I heard Stinky Ed Bosco's in it.
Unfortunately,
I didn't
I'm sorry.
realize you were in it.
I am.
I saw you post about it, but then I was like, it makes sense if you're in it. But anyway, sorry, you can find me at Monty Glue on Twitter. You can find me at twitch.tv/Monty Glue, as well as Monty Glue on YouTube and Monty Glue on Blue Sky. Streams I'm gonna be kind of taking a break from like some streams this week. I think potentially. I don't know about Mad Mage. I'm gonna see how I feel. But I'm sorry for the cancellations, but I have been just taking some time to myself a bit more, which has been quite nice. But if we stream, hopefully we'll be doing more Dungeon of the Mad Mage on Thursdays. Friday, I really, really, really want to get back into Final Fantasy. and then Monday is Mass Effect, with possibly a pop-up stream here. I'm thinking. I don't know. I might just check out some games that I'm interested in. But I'll keep you guys posted on that.
All right, and next we have Artsy Hartsy.
Hi. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/artsyhartsy. I haven't been streaming much lately, kind of on a little hiatus just because of university and stuff. Hoping to fit that into my schedule again. But I will be in the Halo Reach Lasso stream tomorrow with, Bosco, Zan, and Evie. We're going to finish it up. It's
Yeah, we are.
Epic.
You all keep saying
awesome, and maybe if we do it real quick, we'll do some multiplayer. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
I'd be
figure
down.
that out.
Hell yeah.
You all keep saying we're gonna finish it, but this last checkpoint's gonna be a doozy.
It is, but we are finishing it. We're in it. We're in it now.
We're right at the end. I think
We're gonna finish the
blast
fight.
through it.
Objective
First try,
survive.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm up to.
All right. Oh, then I guess that just leaves little old me. You could find me here tomorrow, as mentioned before. Also going to be doing the Halo Reach Lasso. During the day, if I have time, I might do some MechWarrior Online streams again. We'll see. So just keep an eye out for that if that's of your interest. Wednesday, I will not be on Unexpectables. I will instead be chilling in the chat with the rest of you, listening to some good Ravenloft. Then Thursday, potentially Dungeon of the Mad Mage over on Monty's channel. But something fun that I did late last night, and I might be doing again at some point this week, pretty much all through the spooky month, is I'm on observation duty last night, rather late, with Connor, Gaius, and Therapod.
And I wish I'd been there.
I might do that again for part 2 because we finished the first game. I'm gonna go through, I think, most of the 6 games. I think the third one's VR, and I don't have a VR headset. So if you like that, if you like spooky SCP horror stuff and me screaming a lot, look out for that. That'll be again late at night, whenever it makes sense to do it. But aside, I'll let you know. But aside from that, you can also find me over on Twitter, over at Zandy_Grim. There's a link to the first 4 episodes to Stalwart Souls if you want to find those there. That's pretty much me. So unless there's anything else anyone needs to say or wants to say.
No, I think I'm good. We're good.
Hashtag gaming.
Cool.
Hashtag gaming.
All right, then without much further ado, players, are we ready to get into session 5 of Stalwart Souls?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
All right, let me take a sip.
Oh, my cat jumped onto the desk. I think he's saying he's ready to go too.
Let's go, Tinto. From where our adventurers and friends last stood, Kanato Yuki, Serena Vanderstar, Koro Evis, Ash, and Fenris Karenray found themselves triumphantly defeating not only an undead that would have preyed upon an innocent Githyanki, but later that same day they would also end the very destroyer of Kanato and Serena's home. By defeating the Two-Tooth Flame Skull and investigating further into the Cups district, the group made well-earned connections within that district before eventually returning home for some much-needed rest. Now, it is 2 days later. We find our heroes, discovering more about themselves, and they do their best to find ways to grow even beneath the false sun of Cold Rock. One second, let me get this. Fenris.
I.
The heat of the forge hisses from the sweat that falls from your brow as each hammer swing against the anvil sings to your elven ears. Pulver Rockchin places magical waters aside you before you quench the steel of your new weapon to finally cool it. Pulver then seems to whisper a dwarven charm before dusting the armament that you have been creating with enchanted anvil's dust. He motions towards you to snap your fingers. Please give me an Arcana with advantage.
Yay, I could use the advantage. Let's see. It's a 13. Bless.
You snap your fingers. The shrapnel that once scattered your body, the shrapnel that was once in your body that was kind of torn all over yourself has now been removed by whatever strange effects you had encountered 2 days prior. And using that material, you've created a few feet of reforged chain. As you snap, you see the chains form a rigid haft that holds together a glaive head at its end. As instructed then thereafter, you snap twice, magically making the chain then go slack. Burning into the blade is the eye of Bakab, its holy symbol that seems to be transfixed in your mind whenever you close your eyes now. Pulver's eyes gleam in amazement at your creation. Work with this kind of stone, especially magical work, shouldn't be possible, he says. Nor should his wounds have been able to be healed as they have, states Pulver's husband Korma as he approaches the ford. And yet, here you stand anew, defiantly. Korma smiles towards you with a genuine joy you haven't seen on his face for some time.
Fenris will return the smile. Still kind of getting his wits about him.
But I am sorry to say that there is nothing here in the Temple of Morden that has any more answers for what is happening to you. Glad as we are to help you, of course, I'm afraid that you're going to have to visit one of your own people within the Wands district if there's any chance of finding a clue as to what happened to you.
Then I will do so. I appreciate all the help you've been able to give me so far.
Of course. It's not every day we get to see something like this built.
What exactly?
How did you know it would work?
What exactly is he working on?
You see him looking at what you've been working on for better part of a day or day and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
You see what looks like the chain that has been removed from your body, now fully linked into a few feet of length now at this point. And as you're kind of looking towards it, you feel as you were making this item, it is attuned to you almost naturally so.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the blade that was removed and from the broken glaive that you had previously, it seems to be reforged at the assistance of Pulver.
Oh. Well,
Pulver, however, aside from you creating this chain and this new pole arm, has been working and reforging a lot of the broken bits from your armor from the previous fight.
Mm-hmm.
You now have a weapon called Bakab's Grasp. It is a +1 pike.
Oh, I will happily take that.
And I'll put this here. It also has a special rule to it.
Okay. I will add that in.
There you go.
Oh, snap. Oh, cool.
As a bonus action, you could change the form weapon into a whip that deals D6 instead of a D4.
Okay.
And counts as a rope of entanglement. I gave the link for what that magical item is. As a bonus action, you can transfer it back into a pike, so the chain will become rigid again, and you have it as a pike.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing. So it does a standard standard pike damage, and then I can also turn it into this essentially
into a whip instead.
Got it. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna make a
Does
note of this.
the whip version have range, by the way?
Yeah, whips have finesse and reach, I think.
5e whip. I'm double checking a whip. Yeah, it's D4. It does have reach and finesse.
Yep.
And
so it's D6
slashing.
instead of D4 because it's a chain.
Oh, perfect. Whip 1d6 bonus action to switch pike otherwise.
Aside
right.
from that, when you're ready, could I please get a, we'll say either a history or an investigation check of your choosing?
History or investigation. They are probably going to be the same. So here we go. Do I have advantage?
You do not.
All right, 10.
10. As you kind of investigate a bit more about, well, kind of trying to study or recall where in the Wands District you could possibly go to find some of your people, knowing that while they aren't aloof, they do tend to kind of keep to themselves, and finding more information regarding what, well, you're doing and where everything could be might prove a little difficult. But taking a few moments, you do recall that there is a very, very small outdoor shrine to Bakab, which is usually tended to by fellow Korshani, your people.
Is it a short distance away where I could just make a quick
It's
jaunt over?
within the one. It is within the Wands District. So it's kind of closer towards, I think, the Gold Gate. So
Okay.
it will be a little bit of a walk, but I mean, you seem to have some time off from any stressful situations at current, so it might be worth it. But you're free to go wherever you want now that you've been able to reforge in the Temple of Morden.
Have I seen any of my friends since I was essentially brought back from the brink? Because they carried me all the way over here. Have I seen them since?
Yes. Each night you've returned back to the Evis estate to kind of meditate and keep an eye on them, but you've all been kind of going your own ways, investigating the things that make sense to you. Other people are kind of helping out areas that make sense for them to help out.
Then if I know they're okay, I'm probably just going to go visit that shrine if I've got some downtime.
All right. Sounds good. All right. We will pause you there.
Cool.
Ash.
Hello.
There, Artsy?
Yeah.
Okay. Koro's father, Torzenitar, spreads his massive wings. The impressive stature of this blind black dragon is not lost on you as he urges you to observe. From somewhere deep below the banner hands, you stand eclipsed by a massive scrapyard of waste and slag, dumped here by Cold Rock's inhabitants. Torzenitar takes a deep breath in before blasting a pile of trash with his acidic breath. It quickly begins to melt in place before the black dragon looks roughly your direction. Remember to force your breath from the lower stomach, then push your neck forward. Keep your mouth open, but do not let it go slack, he instructs before pointing towards a pile of slag and then pointing towards you. Try it again, Wormling. Ash, please give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Oh boy.
I believe. Let's go.
14.
You take a breath, doing your best to fill your lungs with air as instructed, kind of forcing it from the bottom of your gut directly into your throat and blasting it out as a cold chill creates an almost cone-like effect, blasting and freezing this slag of debris and refuse. Please give me a Constitution save.
Oh, was that with or without advantage?
That's just base.
5.
5? Okay.
Hmm.
As you do so, you notice Torzenitar look towards you happily and with glee as you feel this almost overjoyed presence from Remington, your little companion, excited after hours and hours of trying to do this. You finally mustering up this cold breath almost on command, but the victory is short-lived. You fall to a knee, clutching onto your neck as there's a burning sensation eating at the side of your neck. You kind of wince out in pain, trying to facilitate some sort of what could possibly be assailing you, only to feel this almost magical pulsing emanating from just above your shoulder. Torzenitar then looks towards you. Wormling, are you all right?
I'm not sure.
You see a pool of water next to you, potentially something that could help cool you down, or at the very least, its reflection could indicate what potentially is harming you, as the blind black dragon looks towards you, confused.
If I can I look in the water like the reflection, and do I see
Absolutely.
anything?
As you look down towards the water, kind of trying to keep it as clean as possible, given the area around you is very dirty, very gross, smells horrible. You're able to catch your reflection from deep within this pocketed area where basically all of Cold Rock's trash goes to be dumped and disposed of. And as you look into the reflection, you see a strange symbol almost branded onto your skin.
Hmm. Have I seen this before?
You have
Anywhere?
not. It
Hmm.
looks like this.
Ooh.
Where
A
should I see this?
large. Oh, sorry. Go to handouts real quick, and I think if I do, is it control or shift click? I forget.
If you're looking for
Be a
controls,
Monty
Monty's
question.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Monty question.
What are you trying to do?
How do I
I think you're
force
trying
a
to
handout for everyone?
show a handout. I think there's a button somewhere on the
There's a
handout
button,
itself.
yeah. If you go to edit, there should be a button that says show to everybody.
Okay.
I don't know
Yes,
if you
that
can
makes more sense.
show it specifically to. I've never had to do it to just a specific person, but you can just
Well,
show
I
it to
see it.
everybody.
I'll just give it to
Oh.
everyone. It is a symbol of a darkened, cragged like sun with a strange, almost teal or green orb near its very top. Looking at it, you feel your eyes almost darting away from it reflexively before you try to identify what is there. You remember your skin being very patchy in that area, but you've never seen the symbol before, and yet it feels oddly familiar. You hear aloud from Torzenitar again. Are are you okay?
There's a symbol on. Sorry, you said it was my neck or my shoulder?
Your neck. Your neck.
My neck. Okay. There's a symbol on my neck. I don't think I've seen it before. Kind of burns.
You see Torzenitar kind of look towards you, uh, blank blindly for a few moments. Well, what's it look like?
It's like a circle with maybe a smaller ring, or maybe like a planet and a moon. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
The
I
big
have no
one,
idea.
it looks like it might be flaming.
I have no idea what that means. Especially considering your lineage seems to be that more of a, I would guess, silver, given the cold.
Ash is gonna like gently like kind of pat the water, and then see if they can like rub any of it, like see if it rubs away, or maybe if that just makes it burn a little less.
As you kind of rub it, it does start to soothe it, but it doesn't fully go away. It doesn't appear to be almost glowing as it was. It does seem to be cooling, but it also doesn't seem to be disappearing. As you kind of look towards yourself in the reflection while cooling yourself off, you do see your draconic features a little bit more pronounced than they were even just a few days ago. As you take a kind of deeper breath out to calm yourself, you feel a comforting chill from within your mouth, as you now have learned a new ability about yourself. Once per long rest, you can use cold breath like a wormling.
Awesome.
There you go.
Very, very nice.
You see Torzenitar kind of look towards you, kind of trying to smell you through the trash and debris. If I recall, there is a dragonborn named Inri He has an office in the stairs. He is a master of symbology and draconic histories. I would imagine if anyone is able to help you with, well, whatever that is, he would be able to at least have an answer for you.
Thank you. I'll make sure I stop by and see what I can find out. Sorry, what did you say the name was?
Inri, which you've actually met this person before. They were a gold dragonborn who kind of gave you money to give to Kanato.
Oh, right. Okay, and where was that?
Within the stairs. So roughly where you found them before. They apparently have an office there.
If you recall, they were a neighbor to my old house.
Right, okay. Make sure I make a note.
Sure. Understand, little wormling, that as your presence enhances, you feel more confident in yourself, you learn more about your body. It may take some time to get used to, but do not fear it. You are in a place that welcomes dragons in all forms and kind. Be proud of who you are, wormling.
Ash is kind of feels a little bit. I don't know if relieved is the word, but just comforted that to have his guidance, but doesn't really know how to express it very well. So
You see Tarzanitar almost, even though they can't see you, they almost seem to just sense what you're feeling as he kind of smiles. Do not worry, little wormling. Head over to Inri's right away, just in case the symbol is a portent for something bad. I doubt it is, but just in case, you might as well head over there. I'll tell Koro where you went, and I'll finish Koro's shift down here as well.
I'll do that. Thank you. And I guess I'll just head there right away.
You look up through this massive dome-like cavern and see a long, winding staircase that leads you up out of this rubbish pile and back into the Banner Hands, which is where the stairs are located. And we will pause you there.
Guys, Ash is going through puberty.
He really is, though. He's growing up, getting his dragon breath.
Getting dragon acne and
You're-
voice cracks.
You're basically like
And-
Spyro now.
And long breast.
And long breasts, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Koro,
Uh-oh.
after hours of reading this bizarre notebook that once belonged to Port Master Karnesh,
Oh, that's
your
right.
mother interrupts you suddenly. Koro, get your boots on. We are leaving. You see her train of thought almost interrupted as she stares at you and the book. My son, I know you are anxious for the tournament, but I don't think some sailor scribbles would give you any edge over the Dragonborn boy.
That is not always true. Sailors have lots of stories about fighting interesting things.
Give me an insight with advantage.
Is my mom secretly in love? Ooh. Yeah, I'll take the 25.
All right. It is in this exact moment that something clicks for you. Not necessarily with what your mom said, but the fact that a sailor wrote this. You imagine for a moment captaining a vessel's helm yourself with one hand on the wheel. You attempt to write down your thoughts in this imaginary place, but the wind continues to scatter the pages. You pretend then to turn the notebook sideways so that your arm can hold one part of the notebook down as the other one writes on the top of it. You snap away from this picture in your mind and turn the book as you did in your vision. As you do, this strange scrawl work that is seemingly unlegible seems to almost form into images on the page. please give me a sanity save.
Oh no. How do I do that one again?
So it is just under. It should be under saves.
It'd be on your Roll20 sheet, not the.
Oh, I don't have it
Sanity one.
updated for that. I'm very sorry.
Sanity's just your wisdom. Is that what that one was?
Is it
Your
a
sanity is
wisdom?
just 2. Your sanity is just 2. So d20 plus 2.
Okay. 17.
17. All right. A flash of insight burns into your head. You are suddenly tall, much taller and larger than you are accustomed to being. You look around to see a massive field of war tents, unlike anything you've ever seen before, but still feels familiar to you somehow. You look past your massive and muscular green arms and pat a hand onto a small orc child's head. Yours, it would seem. Son, you hear from your own mouth. It is not enough to bring forth your own spirit. You must know what you are, where you come from, and let that give you strength of spirit. You see the young orc child, your son seemingly in this vision, stand up and ready to attack a training dummy. Channel the tribe into your fists. Let this key-powered focus channel your anger. You then see the small orc summon forth some form of reckless yet remarkably graceful stunning strike against the dummy as it shatters into pieces. Good, good. Take heart in the spirits of those who helped forge your own, and you will find a host of new talents you can't even dream of yet. The vision then ejects you from your mind, and you find yourself back as Coroevis, staring at this book, these random squiggles almost painting this picture in front of you, almost auditorily speaking to you. Koro! You hear from your mother. How much longer do you need down there?
I literally kind of think to myself and blink a few times, and I go, know who you are and where you came from. Mom, where do babies come from?
What?
Never mind. And I'll kind of gently close the book, and then
As you
kind of rush upstairs.
Koro, as you close the book, you feel almost something ebbing from your mouth, as though your question and then slight curt statement towards your mother, something else was reinforcing the words. You then hear aloud from your mother, "Don't you try to use a charm on me, young man! Wait, how did you do that?"
Huh?
You see your mother rush down towards you and begin to kind of look at your face. Have you always been able to cast magic? Is this new?
What? What are you talking about?
You feel this presence of body, this strangeness of yourself, a strength that you have never felt before, but feels as though it's supposed to be a part of you. Once per long rest, you can use Charm Person,
Oh, okay.
a lineage of
Oh.
your mother's origins.
Oh,
Nice.
That makes so much sense.
That makes a ton of sense.
That's really cool.
Now, I am not sure how you trying to charm your mother will help you in a fight, but regardless, let's get going. I need your help tending to the wounded militia at the barracks, and I can't carry these potions on my own.
Yes, of course. Above board. Sorry, Zan. What's the spell casting modifier for that spell?
It would be your wisdom modifier.
Wisdom?
Oh no, sorry, charisma. Charisma.
Yeah, charisma makes more sense. How charismatic am I? It's okay. That's probably fine.
Your mom is a succubus. How are you not more charismatic?
Oh, will it not let me add a new spell?
Listen, there's more to charisma than just fancy words.
In the words of
Aura's
Joe
pretty
Cat,
hot.
it's also how you can scare someone into a situation as well.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say to your mother? Do you want to get ready?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just trying to
As you
figure out
kind
how to add the spell to my
sure
sheet.
thing. Take your time on that. As you kind of kick on your boots and get your effects, you see a massive amount of healing potions that your mother has been creating fervorously the last few days. As you muster what strength you have, try and pick them up and help your mother going towards further into the Banner District towards Castle Trest. And we will pause you there. Kanato,
Hello.
as per recommended by Amor, you find yourself in a workshop, a place that Amor recommended personally. This Fletcher's shop of an Asimir named Anoldi. I'll give you the spelling right now.
Anoldi?
Anoldi.
You said an Asimir?
Oops. Yeah. The man's golden hair and more older-faced features look towards you with astonishment as you loose another arrow towards a training target. Absolutely astonishing, the Asimir states. I've never seen a bow like that before. Where, may I ask, did you get it?
See, it's, it's from a place that I don't really know, but my mother gave it to me.
Oh, your mother gave it to you.
Well, kind of. I don't really remember. It was left to me from my mother.
I see. I fear that I am prying too much, but regardless, it is a truly unique artifact. The enchantments on it are dormant, it seems, but they seem to be some kind of almost fayish language I don't quite understand. You then hear aloud, there are very precious few who do, as you see Amor make his sudden presence known. I trust that 3 quivers worth can be entrusted into our young friend here. Of course, Master Amor. Please, it's just Amor. That will do fine. The Asimir then hands you over, Kanato, 3 quivers with 20 arrows each. Or
Oh.
you have 20 arrows each.
That's a lot of
This is-
arrows.
This is gonna help a lot. I in my last endeavor, I kind of ran out, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen. Especially when you're firing more than 1 arrow at a time. But still, I'm all too happy to help. It was truly a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Kanato. Hopefully I'll have a nicer stock next time you return, as all of my enchanted arrows were donated to the militia before the attack.
This might sound a little personal, but you're an Azamar, right?
Yes.
It wouldn't happen to be of Moradin, would it?
No, not directly.
Okay.
It has been some time since many of the Asimir have heard the gods here within this demi-plane Cold Rock sits in. But we are hopeful that one day we'll hear them again, at least a little more clearly.
Can I just take a quick glance around like at the wares though? Is there anything
Sure.
that like kind of would stand out as like I could get as a gift for anyone or everyone?
Everything seems pretty mundane, mainly used for upkeeping
Hmm.
bows or stringing bows, as well as there just seems to be a full workshop for fletching arrows, mostly made out of the strange rock trees that grow on certain parts of Cold Rock. However, it seems like there's a large portion of his stock completely missing, as though either he sold out really quickly or, as he said, he donated as
might
much
have-
as he could to the
yeah.
militia.
That makes a lot of sense. Well,
You
I'll
see-
definitely return here if I need more arrows.
You feel a suction slightly remove itself from your head as you see Philump extend an arm stalk towards the Asimir. And it was a pleasure to meet you as well, Philump. As you see Philump kind of nod as though this is some sort of business arrangement.
Phil, sometimes I forget you're up there.
That's okay. I forget about me too sometimes.
I mean, it's not a a bad thing. It's more like just grown accustomed to you being around all the time.
Oh, that's nice, I think.
I like to think so.
Someone's cooking.
You see the Asimir seem to go back to his work as you see Amor looking down towards you. Konato, while I am reluctant to ask any more of you, I would like to take you somewhere that might give us some answers as to why you were the target of the attack that you endured.
Sure. If I recall, it was something to do with the shadow plane.
Yes, there's very little knowledge even here on Cold Rock that I can muster up to figure more out about that, but there is a place on Cold Rock that you might have better luck experiencing than I did.
Lead the way. I don't think I have any plans today, as long as the tournament didn't start and I didn't know.
Oh no, that is
didn't
still
know.
some days away. You do not need to
Okay.
worry. You see Amor take out a ring of keys from seemingly a dimension of space in front of him before placing the key in front of him equally in the air in the middle of the street, turning it as you see a door then open. Well, if you'll follow me.
Sure. Also, can I quickly, over the past few days or however long it's been, be like checking that scroll case just in case anything's come through it?
Sure. Thus far you haven't seen anything nearby, but feel free to give me an Arcana check.
Sure. I would check that like every morning just to see if anything came through,
Yeah.
since I sent that one thing through it.
Makes total sense.
20.
With a 20, you've been able to deduce that whatever you sent or attempted to send did reach its target. It seems that there's some form of minor shunting, either prolonging or making any sort of return send more difficult, giving you the indication that wherever it was sent to is probably not on Cold Rock and potentially not even within the demiplane itself.
Yeah. Well, then
Is
I will.
something the wrong, Kanto?
You remember the scroll case a while back I showed you?
Why?
I just was curious, like, yeah, the where and when or whatever it could have be linked to, like where that could be. Is I just have a feeling it's pretty far away.
You see, very almost prim and proper, Amor kind of place the set of keys on his waist, his warforged face kind of looking down towards you with yellow eyes. Well, teleportation from and even within the demiplane is tricky at best. Even I am only able to teleport comfortably around Cold Rock, not beyond it.
It must be pretty powerful then, if even if it's only sending like small amounts of non-living material, it's still getting through it.
Indeed. But please, through the doorway at your leisure.
I'll step through.
As you, or as Amor and then you step through, you see this magical door close behind you, as suddenly you are outside of Cold Rock, atop its rocky surface, protected by a dome-like magic that's keeping you safe from the not only space outside, but also the direct sunlight. You look around to see the many docks that park with Cold Rock into its center, usually filled with shipyarding equipment and massive vessels. Almost all of it is empty for the first time in all of your memory. You get the indication that the war that is being sparked on the edges of the realm between realms is truly bringing as many people to it as possible. But where you are directly, within the center of this dome, where Amor seems to have brought you, is a singular tree known to you by some of the books you've read growing up with Giselet as a fairy tree. It is a small thing with a number of somewhat withering pinkish flowers, but there are a number of charms and notes that seem to be placed with what appears to be condolences for hundreds of people that you can't quite see but understand the reverence of this small yet powerful looking tree.
This looks like a pretty good spot to just kind of sit down and have a quiet moment.
I unfortunately do not have any ties to any of the Feywilds, so as much as I have tried to attempt to connect or gain any sort of information from this tree, it rebuffed any of my attempts. But this is the last fairy tree in Cold Rock, and I have a sneaking suspicion that you have some form of ties to the Feywilds.
I mean, at least my mother, at the very least, I assume, with the boat that she had.
Indeed. Well, at your leisure, I will be here to maintain the sigils to make sure that you are safe.
Yeah, I would probably just head on over and just kind of like meditate under it for now, just to get away from everything for a while.
As you go over there and you meditate underneath it, you feel at peace, a peace you have not felt in a week or more. As in your calm, you see something carved beneath all of the ribbons and string, feathers and trinkets that are adorned on the branches of this small tree. Something legible to your eyes, carved and scraped into the bark of this wood. It reads, "First, in the shade, we were found. Then, in our grief, we drowned. Now, in the shadows, we are bound."
Said first in the
As
shade, we
yeah,
are.
I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
As you read this aloud, or as you read this to yourself, rather, you kind of feel this almost connection to what is written on the tree. Please give me an Arcana with advantage.
Advantage. 20.
You take a breath as when you close your eyes, you feel your pulse begin to elevate. Fear then begins to rise as in your head you hear the distant cries of countless voices echo quietly in your head until they are nothing more. You then open your eyes to find yourself behind Amor, as Amor seems to be confused looking around. Kanato? Kanato, where did you go?
Behind
He
you?
kind of looks shocked as he hears your voice, then turns around. As you feel this strange connection to the shadow of this tree, giving you a little bit of light cover from the massive sun above. Once per long rest, you, Kanato, may Misty Step, provided the exit location is somewhere in shadow.
Ooh. Cool.
Well, Mr. Fox.
As you feel this connection to the shade, you look towards Amor, the Warforged wizard, and he almost seems as though he's in multiple places at once. But then you realize it's not just him. Everything seems to be slightly off, as though there are doubles or more of the sun and the rock that you stand on. Please give me a wisdom save with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. You said wisdom? Oh boy. 4.
you notice, Kanato, a few errant pieces of floating debris that orbit Cold Rock like so many do, but this one seems to cast a shadow over you and Amor from the sun as a terrifyingly loud shout booms from the shade cast from the shadow before suddenly you, Philumph, and Amor become surrounded by a darkness that you cannot fully see its edges before disappearing entirely into gods only know where. Serena.
I don't know how you're going to follow up that ending.
Oh,
That's what he do.
Give me an honor. Give me an honor test.
Oh, no.
Wait.
This is 19.
Oh, your life for ire.
It's so honorable.
oh no.
You passed. You may increase, maintain, or decrease your honor score by 1.
Oh. Increase, decrease, or maintain. Why would I want to?
Remember, your thing doesn't like you being too honorable. You're bad.
But I think secretly she likes feeling honorable with her friends.
By all means, you can do either way,
Oh yeah.
or
Yeah.
any of the 3 directions.
I like to imagine if you keep increasing your honor, you just go to your coffin one day and it has like a plaque on the outside saying "Bad girls only."
It's gonna
my
be an
God.
eviction notice. I'm gonna have an eviction notice.
He evicted you.
One clarification real quick. You said the Misty Step, I have to be appearing in shadow. Is it still every other limitation? I still have to see it, and it still has to be within 30 feet?
Yes, just the
Okay.
exit point has to be cloaked in some form of shadow.
And the last thing would be, does this get added to my spell list, or is it just the one-time use only?
It's a one-time use only.
I can change my score from like 1 to 2 then, or
You can increase it by 1 if you want. What is your honor currently?
it's 1.
Well, I think it should be on the base. It's not the modifier, the actual score.
Oh,
I
okay.
think your honor
So
is
like
12 currently.
it's 12. Okay, so I could change it to like 13 or something.
Yep.
So I wouldn't actually change it then. It's still 1. Cool. Oh, whoops. Change the wrong one. Okay. Yeah, we'll increase it by 1. It doesn't do anything.
As you increase your standing, kind of feeling more proud of yourself and remembering the teachings that Giselette helped guide you, but you really did find on your own, you see in front of you this mysterious coffin almost vexing you. With the last of the stores of blood that Kolani had for you now depleted, your skin begins to itch as you feel the beginnings of this overpowering hunger that you fear will start to take form. You don't know where this coffin came from, much less why it's not allowing you to rest and become sated anymore. But what you do know is that there's something strange within this symbol. You've seen it before, this symbol of Erythnal. The face of this jagged smile has caught your eye elsewhere on Cold Rock, though up to this point you dared not venture further into this place. Because nestled into the holy grounds of the Shrines District stands an archway with this very icon, this insidious looking mod face of Erythnal at its very center. Please give me a wisdom save with disadvantage.
I'm so great at it already. Here we go. Wisdom. Disadvantage. 3.
Oh.
Despite
Welp.
the unease of being around such fervent and often radiant homes that the Shrines District is known for, the very real terror of potentially becoming this mindless and hungry thing that you've been fighting the last few days gives you a bit of pause as you shudder the late Gizlet did his best to shelter from you, from you, but you can't help but wonder if allowed to hunger for long enough, how far your mind will change. But with him and his arcane now unfortunately gone, you seem to have little choice if you wish to try to sedate this hunger that you have, to either drain some reluctant ally or worse, to feed upon an unwilling. With that in mind, you could attempt to go either of those ways or attempt to investigate where the symbol is in the Shrines District. What would you like to do?
So my options are to look for food or investigate the symbol, essentially.
Yep. At least those are the ones that immediately come to mind. You can, by
Yeah,
any
yeah.
means, do any direction you like.
That makes a lot of sense. I think I think it's been probably 2 days since she's had any blood, right? So she's probably feeling pretty bad. I think she would be worried. Oh,
Good.
I think she would be worried about attacking somebody enough after 2 days, like that she would probably go to try and find an ethical source of blood before she
Okay.
investigates a symbol. So
You've in a pinch, you know that you can try and find a rat or small vermin, but that would be the best you can do if you don't want to try and prey upon some mortal prey.
I'm sorry, I just got a very, like, when you said that, I got an image of, like, you just, like, grabbing a rat and cracking open its mouth like a pop can.
Cracking your cold one with the
I'm
boys.
busy Remington
With the
away from
same
both of
sound
you.
effect.
And,
He
like,
just grabs a rat and just
middle of the street, like, you know, right in front of the vendor, but like stand, just grab a rat off the ground. Yeah, she'll probably go and try to find some, whether it be a rat or something else that she can ethically
If you're
sort.
going
But
to
I think
scavenge for some form of vermin, I will need, unfortunately, a survival check.
okay. We don't have like a butcher shop or anything around here, do we?
It is some ways away, within the Banner Hands, but you can attempt to go shop for some blood if you want to.
Yeah, I think she'd shop first before she resorted
Alright.
to rat blood.
Can't wait for you like rolling that one
Um,
on your survival.
I can't believe you ate that whole cow.
As
From
you kind of
Harlow.
look around, going towards the only place that seems to relatively make sense, you find what appears to be the Markets 3, or what you know is the Markets 3, has a number of butchery shops that come from the Caves of Plenty. Or at least cattle of a certain sort that come from the Caves of Plenty. And as you walk up towards a kind of a butcher shop that seems to be at least immediately within walking distance of the Evis estate, you see a rather disgruntled looking dwarf look up towards you. Hi! Why are you so tall?
Damn
Why are you
dwarven
so short?
philosophers
What?
always ask.
She responds with like, "Why are you so short?"
Ooh!
You see his eyes widen. All right, we can do business. And what can I get you? Though I don't think I have enough meat to give you that much, or at least fill you a belly this size. You don't look like any Goliath I've ever seen.
It's not the meat I'm looking for, but perhaps have you drained blood from any of your recent merchandise?
Yes, of course, we tend to make blood pies with them. But did you need the blood for medicinal purposes? We don't really filter or clean any of it.
Rejuvenation purposes.
You see him look somewhat confused.
We just out here speaking the truth, huh?
I like to imagine like the lights just get darker as you say that, and like the camera zooms in.
There's like that organ and then the shock of thunder and lightning outside.
As he seems to be kind of a more rough and tumble type who likes throwing insults and getting insults thrown back at them, he seems to take a liking to, even though he's a little unsettled at your general visage and vibe. That being said, please give me a persuasion with advantage to try and get some blood not discreetly.
Woo! All the rolls I'm great at today.
It's true, but you have advantage. Hey!
Aiming.
Natural
20
20.
win.
Oh, what do you say?
So just as I'm asking for blood, basically.
Say it with your eyes.
Everything she says is with her eyes. She kind of just looks down at him and says, "Trust me, it will go to a good use." And she puts down some like gold.
As you put down some gold and kind of he hands you over what looks like a large 4 mason jars worth of blood and kind of brings it over to you after a few minutes. Kind of looks towards you, and because the natural 20, no charge. Just if anyone asks where you got this blood and you get sick, you didn't get it from me.
She actually kind of smiles at that, and she looks at him, and she's like, and she puts down, she'll still put down 2 gold, and she's like, "Take it anyways." She kind of looks at him, and she's like, I think I like you too. Thank you.
Mighty kind of you.
4 mason jars of blood. Cool. I'm not even going to ask what type of blood.
You can tell he seems to be carving up looks like mostly pig, so you can assume it's pig's blood.
Yeah. Cool.
As you kind of grab it, your hands feel itchy as there's finally some form of substance in front of you. Do you want to
probably
discreetly drink it, or are you just gonna down the hatch right in front of this guy?
Oh God, no! I'm walking away. He was so nice to me. I'm not gonna ruin that interaction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to make friends. Okay, I don't want to ruin that.
As you kind of drink some of this blood, please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, that's unfortunate.
it's 22.
Ooh.
You choke the blood down, but as you're drinking this sanguine fluid of not a mortal creature nor magical creature, it tastes like ash. You feel it's sedating your body, but it tastes terrible. And you know that if you were on a consistent amount of this blood as your diet, your body would begin to slowly turn on itself.
Awesome. She has that like her nose is all scrunched up as she's like drinking it and like just like choking it down like when you're a kid trying to eat that last vegetable on your plate. It's just so you can leave type of look.
You then see what looks like a strange almost glimmer, a glitter within the air of what appears to be a small breeze, but that of a magical nature, almost moving towards an alleyway that you are near within the Markets 3. Do you choose to investigate or leave it as is?
Sure, I'll investigate.
As you kind of look down the alleyway, you see at the very end a pretty beat up and dismal looking uh, door of wood that seems to be marred around a number of blackish stone. The small breeze seems to move into the door, and you see the sparks of what appears to be some kind of magical yellowish energy blink into the door and disappear. As you kind of look towards down the alleyway, you feel this strange connection with whatever that wind was for a moment.
She kind of finishes her blood, puts the jar away, and kind of walks up to the door to kind of give it a closer look.
As you walk up towards the door, you notice that there are no windows attached to where this door is, almost at the very end of this dead end of an alleyway. The door is is very small in comparison to your stature, but it's small even by a lot of the more humanoid creatures on Cold Rock standards. as you hear a voice aloud. You may come in.
She's been given permission, so
Yeah.
That means you can go in. Just don't walk
I'm
over the
about to-
water.
Okay, she'll go in. She'll open the door.
As you open the door, you see a almost darkened shade, as there's no windows in this place. There's a little bit of light creeping from the now open door, but you feel comfortably cooled down in this place that seems to be away from the false sun above. As you kind of look around into this smallish looking room, you hear a voice kind of from one of the corners, and out of the outline or shape of kind of your natural dark vision, you see what looks like a older gentleman with a large white beard sitting in a rocking chair. Please give me a perception.
Gandalf?
Is that you? Natural.
Oh no!
Oh,
Gandalf,
no!
Is that you?
It really is Gandalf.
It is
He's here.
Gandalf.
I know him.
You notice nothing else about the man other than he seems to be very old. As he kind of looks towards you, you see the general shape of him looking at you. Serena Vanderstar. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Have we met before?
No, but I have met Vinny Vanderstar in my many years of living. I am referred to by some as the Wilting One, and I have noticed that you are in a bit of a bind.
She looks at like the empty mason jar and like the other ones in her like pouch of blood. And then she also thinks back to all the other things that have happened in the past week. She's like, there have been a few things that you could be referring to.
The Vanderstar name is an infamous one, cursed by some standards, but it still holds a lot of power. It has been, I think, a decade or more since I've seen one of your clan, especially here upon Cold Rock.
Gotta remember if I actually even remember how I came here. I don't think I do.
You don't.
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
Tell me.
Honest.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, you go ahead. It's okay.
Tell me, is there a reason why you stand so brazenly with the people of this place? Fangs allowed and easy for all to see, drinking not the blood of those who you would hunt, not answering to Arithnal's call, but instead making allies.
All I know is this life. I don't recall my life previously, and those that have helped me here, I do not wish to betray their trust.
You see the shining of a singular eye peer through the darkness towards you. I can sense that you're telling the truth. Interesting. Those who make monsters seldom see that their monsters may not always want to be as they created. I can empathize. I can certainly relate. But sadly for me, it is too late to change. For you, Serena Vanderstar, there might be hope. Still, there are going to be things you will need to understand the power that is within not only your blood, but your spirit, I suspect.
To what do you refer?
Well, there is a shipwreck on Cold Rock, deep within the abyss of the Traitor's Maw. You can find the entrance of this place not beyond the frozen gate where one might suspect, but instead within a broken shrine of Arithno within the shrine district itself. When you arrive within the Traitor's Maw, you will find the symbol of Arithno deep within the shipwreckage within the Traitor's Maw. But I would urge you not to go alone, as there are many dangers around that place. And if you do not do this, I am afraid, and this is no threat, but simply an observation, that you may be doomed to become the beast that many others in Cold Rock fear you to already be.
She kind of turns down at that.
So, with this bit of advice given, I would hope that I can offer an exchange of services.
An exchange?
Yes. I will happily give you some of my blood for you to feast upon and gain a strength that pig's blood will not give you. All I ask in return is that when you leave this place, you leave the door open.
Kind of look at him a little. Yeah.
Oh.
Am I allowed to insight him with that?
You absolutely may.
Okay. See if in-game Serena. No! Darn
Oh, God.
it! Serena, why?
Okay, Gandalf.
You can't help but see the opportunity to feast upon a mortal's blood, a massive boon that could sustain you for days if drained enough.
Oh man, I can't ask anything. I failed my insight. She just kind of nods and then I think she will ask one question.
Of course.
Have you lived in Cold Rock for some time now?
Aye, for some time. I have seen Gold Rock change many seasons and many hands of power.
Well, will you be here again if I return then?
You see him almost cock a head towards you for a moment as the eye no longer glows. Curious. You would find value in a wilting one?
Do not know where value can be found, but I do believe that there is something to be gained from every interaction.
Well, I promise you this, Serena Vanderstar. If you take of my blood, all you need do is whisper, and I will hear you.
I write that down. She kind of stands there a little awkwardly. She doesn't really know what has happened and like how this came about from her just grabbing pig's blood today. Um,
Pig's blood is a hell of a drug.
right? It's like I just came on a shopping trip for my groceries this week. What happened?
You could walk away if you want.
I think she'll turn to leave, assuming he's not going to say anything more. And she'll just kind of do that one little last turn to look as she kind of leaves the door open as she heads out.
You see him kind of remove some of his robe, creating what appears to be a magical light from a glowing eye, as you see his arm covered in tattoos and scars. And as he kind of lifts it towards you for you to partake, you notice that one of his his hand is missing from his arm. As he kind of leans towards you, and the eye grows ever brighter. Please give me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna need you to not go crazy on us.
I'll do my best.
Yeah,
My wisdom is 0.
I would really just roll a 20. That'd be great.
Look at my previous wisdom save right now, Bosco.
So you're due. You're due. I believe. Please.
That's not how this works.
I believe. No.
Hey, it's double the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I got better.
You can't help but see one of the scars slightly open, the blood dripping down from the arm, as uncontrollably from somewhere deep inside you, you snarl. It is but an instant, a flash before your fangs find flesh in this man's arm. He looks down towards you. With some concern and pain, you see this one-armed, one-eyed man looking down as you drain the blood from him. Please give me a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Oh, God.
So Constitution with advantage?
Yes.
7.
You see this frail old man kind of harm and clutch his stomach as the blood from his arm seems all but drained. As you drink this blood, you feel not only rejuvenated, but almost magically enhanced. For 3 days, you do not need to eat again. But on top of that, this bizarre blood that you now have tasted, you gain history and deception skills permanently.
And then there's the negative that you're not telling us.
I was gonna say that. Where's the
Yeah.
trade-off? You don't get to fail all those saves and get a boon.
What trade-off? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. There's
Yeah, no trade-off.
Everything will be
No.
Daijo boob, guys. Don't
Daijo boob.
Totally, yeah. Man, we're all gonna converge after this and be like, so how was your day off? How did everything go?
Oh, I drained a dude dry.
Serena will be like, I went grocery shopping. Nothing much.
I got some groceries.
I went to Whole Foods.
I went to Whole Foods.
Do not be afraid, young Vanderstar. There are many who will find your power terrible. My recommendation is to command it, but hide it from those who would covet it most. I'm sure you would do great things in honor of whatever masters you would choose to serve.
I think she kind of just wipes her mouth, and I think she's a little scared of herself right now because of how quickly she jumped.
Right. You feel, for the first time in memory, you feel this strangeness as though this animalistic nature did overpower you.
Yeah, like all the control that I just had just disappeared, and I feel a little scared about that. I'm like, especially because I did just drink an entire mason jar of pig's blood, so the fact that did nothing to stop me, like, it's a little concerning. She looks at him and says, "Are you okay?"
Believe it or not, I have had worse.
Now, for you to do that for me, I feel bad.
Do not. I would consider this first branch in the leaves of friendship. If you ever find yourself in dire need of blood again, as I said, all you need do is whisper, and I will hear you.
He said he's called the Withering one?
The wilting one.
Or the Wilting one. The Wilt. She kind of just nods. And I think she kind of walks away silently, like she's got a lot to think about.
As you walk out of the room, this kind of darkened area, the sun is a little bright, even if it's false for a moment, but you see your skin is far less pale than it usually is. Still very pale considering for most people, but it doesn't look nearly as tight. It looks almost rejuvenated as you feel stronger for the first time in many, many days. With that, as you head out, do you want to leave the door open, or are you going to try and close it?
He said to leave it open. She's gonna leave it open.
All right. As you seem to leave around the corner of the alleyway, you notice the door remains open. Before seemingly in front of you, the entirety of the door vanishes, as though the alleyway is only a dead end with nothing else behind it. You feel a chill down your spine as you remember the man's words. Do not go alone. What would you like to do?
Kind of thinks to herself, I must ask of such magical beings. And I think she'll head over to Koro's place because she figures that's probably where people will gather.
Fair enough.
I was ready
As
for
you
to say,
walk,
I must go alone.
as you walk away from this place, you notice that people around you aren't looking as suspicious towards you as they were before. These hyper-fixated eyes on your visage seem a little more comfortable with you being around. For what reason, you can't quite tell, but you are certain that you have a story to tell or not tell once you reach your friends. And right now, that is where we will take our break.
Hey, we made it. I think.
We made it.
Well, most of us
Yay.
did. We
Man,
got
I have so
special
many
rolls in there.
powers.
Yeah, look at you.
Uh,
You only rolled like
look at me.
a few under.
Look, man, if this was golf, you'd be doing great.
Yeah.
Dude, the the Constitution is the only thing I was really good at. Everything else I had like zeros and ones, whatever.
Had one
So,
persuasion.
I'm not
Good
gonna-
persuasion.
I'm not gonna lie, Shay. I had anticipated you rolling really high, so I had to improv a lot of the consequences.
Yeah.
I'm
Well-
so used to you rolling super high.
You're used to Nyx, who has really good insight and perception and
And
like,
all the
wisdom
things that
saves.
Serena does not.
Yeah, we're pretty much opposite. So you got to realize that, you know, on one game I'm going to roll really well, and on this game I don't have any of the same advantages.
I'll be fine.
So I'll be fine.
Don't worry about it.
So with the deception and history, do I just like get proficiency, or is it a bonus in like those two
No,
specifically?
you have
when I roll?
proficiency in them.
You didn't already have in either of them, did you?
No, I did not.
That's a bonus. That's huge.
Woo!
No downsides.
Yeah, one of
Great,
them's deception.
One of the I was gonna say
Don't
one
worry
of them's
about it.
deception. So
I'm proficient in that. You saying that's a bad thing?
Welcome into the halftime show, folks. I hope everybody's enjoying themselves. Make sure you stretch your waters, drink your legs.
Yum.
yeah, exactly like that.
Yep.
I'm gonna go grab a snack.
Do it.
Again, I still don't think I could eat any food. I ate way too much food this weekend.
Dude, I'm trying to eat my leftovers because I don't think they're going to stay good for very long.
Yeah, no, I had a full-on turkey dinner again today after all the food I ate yesterday and beforehand. So
Jealous.
well, you guys had dinner.
Yeah,
not last night, but the night
we
before.
had a family dinner, but I have to limit myself.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
too much good food with like like butter and oils and
Yeah.
other fatty stuff. I kind of have to like I can have it as a treat. I just can't have as much as I want.
Yeah.
No leftovers for me. I get my one treat for the one day, and then it's back to healthy eating.
That's so sad. Like we had butter tarts today, and I was like,
Oh.
butter tarts.
Yeah.
I was like so excited.
Yeah.
I was...
But they were aware of it, and they made some stuff that was like healthier and
That's
better
good.
for me to eat. So
That's
I
nice,
still had
yeah.
a good dinner. I just
Yeah.
want to do it again, but
I mean, like, I guess there are some things you can kind of bring as leftovers that you could slowly probably eat and portion out.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, like turkey's fine as long as I'm not having too much of the skin. Well, I mean, actually, that's kind of about it. I mean, you know, like cranberry sauce, that can be fine too, but you got to watch the sugar. Yeah, it's challenging.
Yeah, apple pie, pumpkin pie.
Ooh, pie.
Yeah, we had these little like pumpkin pie bites, like in little muffin tins, and rhubarb crisp. That was good. Now I want more.
Yeah, like Tabuya, butter tarts probably are deliciously bad for you. They're very delicious,
yeah.
but probably very bad for you. I don't know exactly what goes into them. Every butter tart recipe is different depending on who your grandma is, so.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every grandma has a different butter tart recipe, and everybody will say that their grandma's butter tart is the best. It's pretty much how it works.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I've got like 8 butter tarts in my fridge right now because my aunt just kind of bagged up a whole bunch of them and handed them to me, and I'm like, oh, I already grabbed a couple to take home, and she's like, take more. So
Eat all of these, please.
I was like, I already packed up desserts, and it's like, take more desserts.
But
and I'm
wait.
like, oh no.
But
Do they have chocolate in them?
No. Do your butter tarts have chocolate in them?
Well, no. So I'm looking up different butter tart recipes, and like you said, everything is different. I'm seeing some that have chocolate chips. I'm seeing some that look more like apple pie.
None of them
or
have
other
ever
stuff.
had
Raisins.
Yeah, raisins are the common one. Although you can't actually taste the raisin. It's really weird. It's more of a texture thing. Chocolate is something I have never had in a butter tart, and it sounds like it would not taste very well with a butter tart. I gotta be honest. The type of sweetness that a butter tart is not, I think, suited for chocolate, but that's my opinion. So, and it's not at all like an apple pie.
Yeah, I'm looking at this recipe and it says chocolate chips on it, but I'm trying to figure out like where they factor that in.
Oh, no, that sounds terrible. I might actually have my grandma's recipe for butter tarts on my computer. Let's see if I can.
Okay, it recommends raisin, but it says you can substitute walnuts, chocolate chips, or pecans.
Yeah,
for
so you
different variations.
can all the crunchy stuff. Okay, I
Oh,
have all my
yeah, that
grandma's
would be-
recipes here. Let's see if I can find it.
I'm curious what your notes are going to look like at the end of the session, Shay.
it's good. It's gonna look really well organized, and all of a sudden it's gonna be oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
I was definitely like sprawl writing when you were talking to me because I was trying to have the conversation and trying to write at the same time. So that's going to be the messiest note section is my own. I think I did pretty well with the rest of them. I even put the picture of the symbol on Ash's shoulder into the notes. So
yeah, I did that with mine.
yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, this recipe I'm looking at recommends half a cup of shortening and half a cup of butter. That's like 1,000% of your daily recommended saturated fat intake.
Oh my god.
Something that's insane. Like, that's way too much.
So Heartsy, you're gonna cook, right?
Also,
I'll cook the things that I make that Durko like.
Okay.
Because then hopefully you guys will like them. I make a
Boom.
lot of food for myself that I know is kind of boring, but it's healthier. But the stuff that I make that is also healthy and Durko likes it, that's kind of how I know it's good for everybody, right?
Ah.
I make all the unhealthy
things. But what if I want like Heartsy's go-to meal, even if it's bland? Who gives a shit?
Okay, well, actually, my go-to meal is not that bad. It's a piece of toast with avocado on it, salsa, and egg whites.
You are from California.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, that's the most California, right? North.
Yeah, I've been doing avocado toast before avocado toast was a meme. But see, the thing is, I don't use butter anymore, and I don't want to use margarine either because that's not much better.
Margarine.
Yeah,
Margarine.
margarine.
Oh, get
What is it?
out
Like
of
a
here,
woman?
British.
Is that how you say it?
Margarine?
Yes.
Is that how you say it?
What?
In Britland?
Are you serious?
Yes.
It's
It
margarine.
actually-
Sounds like
I didn't
you're
know
talking about a
that-
person.
Excuse me, it's margarine.
Margarine. Okay, so
Yeah,
I need to.
that's
Have I been
margarine.
saying it wrong in British accents my whole life?
It's definitely margarine.
Margarine.
How often are you saying margarine in a British accent?
Constantly, dude. You don't understand the kind of scripts I see. You don't understand. All those rom-coms where I have to be British, they always say margarine.
Also, I had to like super nuke my food, unfortunately. 'cause I
That-
took it out and it was still cold, and I was like, ugh.
I'll take
Nice.
your time.
Oh shit, that is
Accidental kill.
actually like wonderful. I mean,
That-
there's half a cup of butter, but at least they don't put
Yeah.
shortening.
Yeah, that's the
Or
muffin.
lard.
I'll have to find the actual butter torch because that one's the muffin one, but that one does
Oh, I
not
see.
use as much of the butter.
I received a gift sub from an anonymous gifter.
You sure did.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
What?
I don't know when that happened, but thank you.
It happened during the game.
I don't
It-
watch the chat. Well,
No,
they'd
it's-
like-
I
yeah,
keep the
same.
stream open because I want to give you the view, but I don't
Well,
actually watch the chat.
Fortunately, even if you are watching chat, there literally can't be spoilers for this, so you're fine.
Yeah, there's no. What are they gonna do? Read Zan's
that is-
notes?
That is
I
true,
broke
actually.
into your house. I'm reading your notes.
Oh.
And if you don't write them down, I'm breaking into your head and reading your
Oh
head.
my god. Yeah. Half a cup of shortening is about 500% of your recommended saturated fat. I'm not even talking about other fats and stuff, just saturated fat. It's almost 500% of your intake. I mean, not that you're eating half a cup of shortening when you're baking a whole bunch of stuff like that. It's going to be divided into everything, but whoa. No, shortening is a big no-no for me.
I can't actually find her tart recipe in here. Only the muffin one.
Rip.
I'll
Those
have to-
muffins.
There you go. As
good.
per Google. As per Google.
As per Google, oh yeah.
As per British Google.
British.
I like how you had to break that down for everybody, Evie. Like,
Wait,
That's per Google.
but that
uh-huh.
completely ignores the first R. Margarine. Where's
Yeah.
Where's
Where's the
first
Mar?
R?
Where's the R?
Yeah.
Huh.
Listen, we say bottle of water.
Not everybody
Yeah,
says
Just
that.
ignore the T's.
Not everybody says that. It depends on the
I
region.
ignore my T's on most
No
things.
wonder the French went to war with you.
What the
It's okay, because the French surrender everything, right?
It's true. They do surrender every time.
To be fair, I don't understand French either.
Laughs
so-
and Napoleon.
Man, we're getting real historical up in here.
Anyway, yes, I put avocado on my toast because it's kind of buttery, has kind of a buttery flavor on
That's
toast, and I don't want to eat butter
That's fair.
or margarine.
Margarine.
I'm gonna name an elf that just to spite you.
Honestly, that'd be a great elf name.
Funny.
That'd be a great elf
But
name.
that's gonna be my
Just
first.
call her
email.
Marge. I guess
Margarine's
you can't
gonna
pronounce
be
the R, though, so
margarine.
it's just Maj.
Then there's
Margarine
yogurt.
is gonna be Margarine's gonna be my first emote.
Dude, I'm gonna just stick that in Ravenloft for no fucking reason. That's gonna absolutely be an NPC, and it's your fault.
Margarine.
Margarine.
Like it's a spell component.
Oh my god! No, it's like a mummy they're trying to make. Margarine. Margarine.
Apparently Basil's one.
Basil, I've heard
Huh?
before.
Basil.
Basil.
Basil's
Oh,
a name.
yeah.
Basil's a name,
that's
isn't
like-
it?
Basil's
That's
the
also
name
kinda
of the
like-
mouse from the Great Mouse
Yeah.
Detective.
Yeah,
That's like
an
oregano and oregano.
oregano. I've never heard oregano.
I have. It
Never.
makes my soul hurt.
I've never heard
What
oregano.
about a vase?
No.
You don't like the vase?
I mean, I've had a vase before, but I normally put flowers in it.
Oh, I was talking about this one at work. How about aluminium versus aluminum?
I have heard
they're actually spelt different. That's
aluminium.
why.
Yeah.
Aluminium is very British. I have heard that.
They genuinely spell them different. That's why.
Yeah.
Hey
I
Evie.
like-
Hmm?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant. Lieutenant. It's like, where'd the F come from?
An advertisement.
A what?
Huh?
An advertisement. Or an advertisement.
Advertisement? Do you say advertisement?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. See, I feel like you do
You're
this
not
just...
making this shit up, right?
No,
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
making
That's
it.
how
No,
they say
that-
it. That's how they say it.
I couldn't even hear what you said. You were like, advertisement.
Yeah, it's like
You like mumbled it out, and I'm like, yeah, I've
Well,
heard that. It's like,
in
yeah,
Evie's defense, it's in Evie's defense, it's the shame.
but I've heard that one. I've heard garage. I've heard like a lot of them. I've just never heard margarine ever.
yeah, that one's new to me.
That one is brand new to me.
Vase? You've heard vase, right?
I've heard vase.
Vase and vase are pretty interchangeable.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I call it a vase
Vitamin?
sometimes. Like it's fine, huh?
Vitamin?
Oh, vitamin. Yeah.
Vitamin, yes. Vitamin, herb. Where you pronounce all your. That's you. That's the H you choose to pronounce. Apparently,
Yeah.
you drop all your other fucking H's, but that one you're like herb.
Anyway, enough about.
I'm home. I'm home. I'm in my house, and I've got my herb. I'm home. I'm in my house, but I've got my herb. It's like why that H? I don't
Did
understand.
you hear basil before, though?
I have heard basil.
How
But
do you
again-
pronounce kombucha for Zen?
Oh God.
Kombucha? You'll have to bring it up without someone else saying it first, because my brain will just default
We just have
what
to
I just
send
heard.
we have to send him like words to say without saying them. Just text them.
Mm-hmm.
At
Is
least
kombucha
Pronounce this
even
word.
something over there?
I don't know.
You get your probiotics.
Yeah. I've heard Worcestershire, which is great. That's always my favorite.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, Worcestershire. That's how you're supposed
Some
to say
things
it.
in life is hard to say, like I'm sorry and you were right, and Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
Just add as many syllables as you can. If you add more, you can't go wrong.
I guess
Somebody
that's
will
how you
always
get
know what you're
Welsh.
talking about.
I love that your Canadian randomly comes out, Shay. It's beautiful.
Yo, Shay was
So-
bullying him on my way out the door today because I said A in my sentence. She's like, "Oh, you said A." I'm like, "Bitch, you're Canadian too."
Yeah, I
What do
know.
you mean?"
I didn't laugh. I said, I love that you ended with the Canadian A. I didn't laugh.
So here's what I love about you, and because Monty does this too. You guys sound very American until certain words come out of your mouth, and I absolutely adore it.
Yeah. That's what it's like with Durko too.
It's so cool. I'm like, I don't know if it's because of the region of Canada you're in or what, but like you
Yeah.
do not sound
Mhm.
super Canadian until you say certain
If you
things.
go
Until you say
eastern, the
southern.
Southern or a boat.
If you
Or-
go
or
east,
pasta-
the
or
accent
pasta.
changes.
Lava.
Lava.
That's another one.
Yeah, the A's are weird. Yeah.
What the heck? Lava.
Lava. Yeah. Pasta, lava,
I mean-
Lava.
bag, bag. It's like bag. I think
It's
they say
not
bag.
necessarily that exaggerated when they say it, but it's there, right? You can
Yeah.
kind of hear that instead of lava, it's like lava.
I love honestly
lava.
my Canadian accent is so much better since I've been playing D&D with Monty. It's like way
Honestly,
better.
Now that I think about it, lava makes more sense.
Yeah.
Like just the way the vowels are laid out.
Yeah. No, it should be lava.
Lava. Also going to be an
That sounds-
NPC.
That
It's going to
sounds
be
medical.
margarine and lava. Those are going to be my two NPCs. There we go.
All right, gang. We ready to get back to it?
I'm ready to go. Yeah.
I may have to get.
I'm
up
good
and
to go,
put
but I
my-
am nibbling still.
I am eating, and then when I'm done, I am probably
Just-
gonna have to put my bowl
just,
away. So just adds up on
Just a little nibble. Just a little nibble.
A nom.
A nom. A nom from your mum.
Minmo update.
No Minmo.
Gone. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No. We got the blessing and then they disappeared.
Yeah.
We'll see them again in another 40 days.
Well, you can't be too greedy.
No. The fact that we got the blessing in the first place
He's-
is enough.
He's been up like a lot.
No, not
It
you, Spriggan.
That's actually
That's
my
not-
cat.
Yeah, that wasn't mine.
No.
You guys can meet Minmo.
Is it the old grumpy one? or
Well, that's
the-
true. We could
He
meet
doesn't
Minmo.
die before you guys show up.
He better not.
That's not the old grumpy one. The old grumpy one's sitting somewhere.
Oh shit, Mimbo, he's here.
Yo,
Nice.
let's go. I felt it. I felt it in my soul.
Yeah. We summoned them.
And there he goes. He literally just came out, ran across to check the food bowl, and then oh, no, he's back now. Oh my god.
We've been blessed.
He's cleaning himself.
So we've got a +1 to our rolls now because of Minmo appearance.
No.
Can I
The
level
heck?
up again?
No.
You've just delayed how long
Actually,
until we level up.
no.
That's how it works, right?
Oh, did I tell you that story? I think I told that story, right?
Kind of. You brought it up, but you didn't tell the story.
Oh. So there was one time, it was in the campaign that Ed was in that was like a 6-7 year above game campaign. And at the beginning of it, somebody kept asking after every session if we leveled up. And at first it was a serious inquiry, but then it was just tongue in cheek. And I told them after a number of sessions, I think it was like 12 or 13 sessions, they were like, wow, we're still only level 2? I'm like, yeah. Every time you ask me if we level up, I'm going to delay the level up one additional session.
Yep.
And he never asked again.
Oh my god. All right, lesson learned.
That's why I asked last session, like, do we level up?
It became infamous amongst the other groups. And everyone was like, all right, cool, you're going to go play with Zan, don't ask for a level up.
Oh shit, I did.
We just killed the big bad. Do we level up? Well, you were going to, but...
You didn't know the rules, Monty. It's fine.
And so do I.
All right. Ready to get back to it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shay?
Yep, I'm good to go.
Okay. Kanato.
Huh?
Please give me a wisdom saving throw.
No. Here it comes. 12.
12. As you take a breath out from being swallowed up by this darkness hole, you try to gain some form of bearing, only to find yourself in an almost small globe-like area. Standing next to you is Amor, and outside of this almost darkened sphere that you stand in the center of, there's nothing else of note that you can see that isn't shrouded in this almost ethereal darkness, except for one thing. At the center of this about 40 or 45 foot tall dome, on the ground at the center of it is a hut of sorts, marred with purplish fabrics and adorned with horns and bones and various filigree of types, though none that you can immediately or at least easily identify. The ground itself seems solid enough, but to your vision seems to be pure black. Aside from that, that is all you glean. As Amor looks towards you somewhat confused, and Philump looks around quite perturbed. I don't know where we are. Neither do I. Kanato?
Is this maybe like a shared vision? Or do you think this is more of a physical thing?
You see Philump kind of slap one of his own arm stocks. Ow. Oh, no, physical.
I mean, why? I feel like we should check it out.
There is a magic, powerful as such, coming from the hut. Clearly, whoever is inside, or whatever is inside, wanted us to come here. I suppose I will lead the way. Follow me and I will keep us safe. You see Amor cast a spell of magical armor on themselves before kind of giving themselves a bit of a defensive arrayment of magical spells, taking a few steps forward, using a staff to slightly open the curtain. Amor's face is this metallic, permanent structure known that you can easily identify from most Warforges, doesn't really emote a lot. And yet, the dimness in his eyes, the posture of his body, he looks mortified for a moment. As he then lowers the curtain and simply states aloud in actually, what languages do you speak?
I speak Common, which is
Wait,
Abyssal.
never mind. Doesn't matter. You've got Flump on your head.
Yeah.
You hear aloud in Orcish, but it's translated. My sincerest apologies. I did not mean to interrupt. As you hear aloud, it's all right. Both of you get in here. You see
Do I
Amor's
recognize the voice?
eyes glow again. You do not recognize the voice as Amor kind of looks towards you, kind of gets his clothes a bit more in order. Be careful what you say, Conato.
Then I will keep my mouth shut.
He opens the curtain a bit more as before he walks in, you see inside what appears to be a number of poultices and herbs hanging from various dry racks,
Nice.
a number of strange spices, and a large table at the center of this hut. Behind the table, you see a older woman, an orcish lady of sorts, whose eyes are barely functioning at this point, and her hair, drabbed in front of her face, is now gray and very quickly turning white. She looks towards the group, or towards you, I suppose, and kind of motions for both Conato and Philump to come into the tent.
I'll give a slight nod and come and, I guess, sit down.
As you sit down on this kind of just pillow, you see the older woman, quite large even by Orcish standards, kind of look towards Amor as he then seems to magically displace his staff and with both hands closer together, my dearest apologies. I'm not quite certain how we arrived here, but you see then the Orcish woman kind of give him a dismissal with a hand as he looks a bit confused. I suppose I will take my leave then, as this Orcish woman looks directly towards you, Conato, as though she wants to have a conversation with you. You then see Amor look towards you as well, Conato. You are, of course, I would recommend you have a civil conversation. Conato, if you need me, I will be at Castle Trecht. But before I go, Ma, one question. You see her move her hand again as Amor then disappears magically.
What?
Be gone.
That is enough of that. Conato, I do not believe we've met before. I am simply referred to as Ma. She then reveals a part in her hair as you see a sickening but broken horn on one of her temples. And I am quite curious as to why you are here. She then places onto the table a crystal sphere. But it is rude for a host to make suspicions or accusations of their guests. Now that we've made acquaintance, you may ask one question of me before I ask a question in return.
Give me just a moment to think.
Give me a quick perception, Conato.
Sure. Huge.
We're doing great on the perception today. Good job,
God
team
damn.
perception.
Yeah, we're having a
One for
time.
each eye.
You look around shocked, trying to get some sort of a semblance as to where you are or what this woman wants. Your eyes float towards nothing useful, save for maybe a large painting hanging from one of the rafters of the hut. It seems to be a painting of this woman, very tall, alongside another very tall orc, Portmaster Kernesh. And in front of them seem to be a host of small orcish children. Aside from that, unfortunately, anything that could be of more use to ask questions or to get a bearing, with only two, that's all you see. But the painting's quite large, it's kind of hard to miss.
How about you ask your question first?
That has been a while. Most people do not seek me out unless they have specific questions. But my question to you, Kanato, may I divine you?
Well, do I know what that would entail?
You have no clue. You can give me an arcana.
11?
You are certain it is involving some form of ritual with this crystal ball, but beyond that, with only 11, you can't quite tell. You know the process is some form of divination, but you're fairly certain that Philump would block that?
Well, this doesn't count as my question because it's more of a I want to make sure I'll be safe. But what does that entail?
Divination, dear Conato, is an ancient rite, a ritual, a practice of many a partitioner, such as yourself, and a lineage of which I am grateful to benefit from. We can see what was, what is, and what might yet be. But more importantly, it allows us to understand a person more than their words can often belie. No, Konato. If you are in my hut, I will mean you no harm.
I mean, sure. Philum, you might want to stop the block for a minute, then.
Are you sure about that? This is the first person I've ever seen that talks that I can't read their thoughts.
I mean,
you sure?
They seem to know Pranesh, so I kind of trust them.
Okay, I'll be right here. If you need anything, just let me know. Okay. Just think it real hard.
Yeah. Okay.
You feel a suction removed from the top of your head as the lump kind of just floats at your side above the pillows. They can't sit. You see in front of you the crystal ball begin to move and emanate a strange magic that you can't place, but you are certain, aside from that, it is some kind of arcane. And as it moves forward, you hear the old orcish woman aloud, her voice boom with a magical resonance that echoes within the tent. I fear your time of sleep has ended. Rest where you can, dear Konato. But a life of continued shelter is over for you, at least for now. Follow your friends. Fight as you must, but pierce the shadows of their enemies' ambitions. And in their struggles, dear Konato, you will find the light that you need. Her eyes then return back to their estranged milky state as the orb seems to place back down onto the table. She places her hands calmly in front of her. Ah, dear Konato, I feel as though I understand you more, and I hope the words of the ritual give you some insight. As mentioned before, I am known simply as Ma. liaison to Portmaster Kurnesh and the Nine Hells, and you find yourself in a very strange place. But as you've allowed me to ask a question, it is now your turn.
Hmm. What do you know of the Feywild?
The Feywild, a place that I dreamed of in my youth, only to be suckered away to it for some time. A enchanting but dangerous place, connecting many a realm of material to other. It is an interesting place, but without further question, I cannot go into details without a question in return.
Sure, just one more.
My question to you, Kanato, hopefully one that you do not take offense to. Today, what are we feeling? A pants, a dress, or neither?
Today, uh, neither really.
She looks over towards the painting. One of my children was very much the same. Now, you may ask a question again.
So, you said you visited there. Did you see any creatures that looked like me?
Yes, many. There are small enclaves, or at least there were, of things that would ebb and flow from the Feywilds. It's not as rigid as a place as Cold Rock. It is a place that is ever changing, ever moving. One of similar in its make, in its construction, sure, but it is unique. And like it, the creatures from there are unique. Now, will you part an old woman another question?
Sure.
From what I have seen from the ritual, you were attacked by something. Attacked by, I believe, some forms of aberrations. They seemed to want you for a connection towards, I'm assuming, the Feywilds, perhaps? But your connection is deeper than that. There's something dark that follows you. A energy, if you will, that I am not unfamiliar with. So my question to you, Kanato, now that you know that you are under the eye of an enemy, what do you plan to do?
Uh, long term, short term.
Whichever is most honest for you.
For now, short term, I kind of want to reclaim my home,
A
but
noble goal.
I long term don't know if I can even stay here.
Here, certainly not. This place will swallow you whole, as it has many. Cold Rock itself, however, is a home to many.
That's kind of what I meant. I don't
I
think I
see.
can really stay there. I mean, Philip's a great ally there, uh, blocking the tracking, but I, I don't know if it's all powerful, and I'm sure people can find a way.
Still, there may be a time that you may have to leave this place, whether you establish a home here or not. That being said, the choice is, of course, yours, and yours alone to make. Now, you have sedated my curiosity. I owe you a question in return. Anything that your heart's desire. I promise you I am quite versed in quite a lot of subjects.
This is gonna sound really weird. Um, This is very selfish of me. He's gonna kind of like lower his voice, just be like, "How would I cheat in the tournament with no one knowing?"
Oh, Evie.
I really
My dear
want to win.
My dear Konato, you will not need to cheat. But, that being said, now that I look upon you, now that I begin to understand the machinations of your mind and your being, I understand that there's something that overshadows you. At first I thought it was simply a lineage that perhaps you were trying to escape, but no. The question of your people is not lost on me. I know where you are from. I know what happened. And I can understand why you are hunted. But know this. So long as you are vigilant, I foresee that you will succeed in your goals, short term and long term.
So don't cheat.
And if you must. Trust me, I am not one to judge moralities. I can sort with devils, make deals and pacts as such, but I understand when the thumb must be placed on the scale, and I do not believe you will need to place such.
It's been a hard topic on my mind the last few days.
Well, now that I understand you, and relatively understand how you got mixed up in this place, I would recommend, unless you have any further questions, as we are neutral, I can show you the door. But if you have any other questions of me, I would be happy to answer.
No, I think this is very eye-opening.
Indeed. For not just you, I suspect. If you ever have questions or need to understand where you are from, or what it is you are, all you need do is find me. Now always, ask your Warforged friend. However, finding me usually comes at a cost, so if you have any questions, I'd recommend you do them now, as they will not be quite as cheap next time.
I'm fresh out of ideas.
Very
But
well.
before I go back, Philip, you should probably yeah, just get back on the blocking thing. I don't want to go back there unprotected.
You see him give you a little salute with an arm stock before you feel the suction squeeze the sides of your head again slightly. Well, Kanato, it was a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I'll stand up and give a little curtsy.
You see the old woman creak her bones as she stands to do a similar gesture. Understand, you arrived here through the shadow, and the shadow will try to claim you. Good luck.
Awkwardly walk out of the tent.
As you walk out of the tent, you find yourself walking in through this darkish miasma. An almost tunnel-like form surrounds you as you continue to walk until finally this miasma turns to light. The light of the bright, false sun of Cold Rock's roof. There we will pause you, or ceiling, I should say. We'll pause you there. Koro.
Yes.
You spend some time mustering up what powers your back will let you yield to move all of these medical potions into the militia barracks of Cold Rock. But the sights of the giant posters and flags that indicate the tournament is on its way to finally arriving is marred rather quickly. As you walk into the barracks, you find hundreds of injured and dying, being tended to by many a host of fiendish and orcish nurse. It seems to be almost a jarring juxtaposition to the bright lights and casual fanfare of the outside people who it's as though there was an attack 2 days prior. But here inside this barracks, it is very real, the consequences of that day. Worse yet, you see a number of fiends as you're kind of moving to assist your mother seem to be refusing the care that you and your mother provide in either potion or any form of assistance. You look towards them out of some confusion, perhaps, as you cannot help but notice the directed and thinly veiled spite towards both you, Koro, and your mother. Please give me an insight.
15.
You see a few of these fiends kind of snarling towards each other, and a few of the orcs as well, as you occasionally hear snickers and jabs of being called demon lovers. These people seem to be almost rigidly against you despite your offer of aid and altruism. It's as though they are frustrated at you for a reason that you might not be able to piece together, at least immediately. As you see your mother seem to take it in stride, and even if she is denied, at least placing health potions at their bed. Um, but you see Kolani kind of almost float towards you. Something the matter, Koro?
No.
Good. I am rather thankful that you assisted me today. I know it is difficult to take you from your training, but these people need help.
I know this. Well, don't mind. I kind of like jostle the kind of crate man and go, at the very least, I'm good at carrying things.
You see your mother continue to move some things around as you see what looks like one of the fiends, a younger one, seem to walk towards you, Koro. Cousin?
Cousin?
Don't mind the older folks. Many of them are veterans from the old demonic and Githyanki attacks on Cold Rocks. But also many of them were, well, they arrived from Avernus from the Blood Wars. Devils, demons, fighting, eternal struggle, that whole thing.
Can't say I am too, what's the word? Intimate.
And
But
I'm like
I
you,
know of
cousin.
it.
I'm like you, cousin. I never knew those horrors, born likely after all of that. Still, I appreciate the help that you and your mother are giving.
Of course, anytime.
You see him nod as he takes one of the health potions and pours it on a pretty grievous wound of his arm that you could tell will heal over time. But Koro, as you look around, you can't help but notice that the barracks has been not purposely divided, but almost instinctually divided by its inhabitants into sections. Devils seem to hold themselves together. Orcs in their given area and corner, and Asimar are all separated away from each other. The nurses of varying lineages and origins seem to be passing through them without an issue, but it's as though the identity and unity of Cold Rock that you're accustomed to seeing is evaporated in this barracks. But worst yet, you can't help but feel as though there's an animosity towards more of each other than you and your mother. You then see what appears to be, or what you could easily tell is, a orcish guard in not a terrible amount of haste, but some haste, seem to approach you, Koro. For this long day of moving massive crates of potions, you see this large orcish man with a pike on his shoulder move over towards you, trying to catch his breath. as your mother also moves to your side. Apologies, Mrs. Evis and Koro, was it?
That son, yeah, Koro.
But it would appear that Giselet's charge appeared just outside the frozen gate. I was brought here by this, and you see floating behind him, Philump kind of slowly jellyfish swim through the air towards you. They said that Koro might be able to help and guided me here.
Wait, is it Philump or is it like
It's
just
Philump, yeah.
another? Oh, I thought he was on top of Kanato's head.
Not last you knew, yes, that was the case.
Oh. I kind of like blink twice and I
Sorry to meet you like this, Koro. Something happened to Kanato. I can't reach them.
That is not good. Where was the last place you saw? Sorry, Mom, I'm gonna have to give you the crate back.
No, go on, Koro. Go on, Koro. Kanato needs your help. We are just about done here, anyways, and I will meet you at home.
I kind of give her like a little salute and I'll run off with Philump.
Philump seems to guide you closer, or outside, as the Orcish guard slowly kind of catches up behind you as you hear Philump say out loud, we were talking to this Orcish woman, called herself Ma, and I don't know, we were teleported back, and when we got here, Kanato was just stuck. It, they're just stuck there, and when I tried to catch their mind, I couldn't. It was just cold. I don't know. I was very worried. You see their color changing to this concerned orangish pink.
Well, just take me to where they were before, and we'll try and go from there.
Of course. As you see Kanato continue to float, or not Kanato, you see Philump continue to float towards what you can immediately tell isn't too far from where you were at Castle Tresh Barracks, is a massive wall of ice, some 120 feet tall and somehow very thick, that blocks the rest of Cold Rock from the Trader's Maw, a massive abyss near the center of Cold Rock's center, or origin point, I should say. But as you walk towards this massive, well-guarded gate, Koro, you see Kanato surrounded by about 6 or so guards, not offensive, but confused. As a small crowd seems gathered around where these guards are looking, you see Kanato almost frozen in place, just staring at the ground.
Like frozen like ice, or just frozen like not moving?
Like they're just not moving.
Okay. I will rush over and sorry, just give me like just 2 seconds. I apologize.
You're good.
I will rush over and he's just not moving.
Correct. And as you rush over, you hear Philump go, Kanato, see, Koro's here, you're safe.
Hey buddy, what's going on? Can I
As you
do a medicine check or something?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Uh, 13.
13. You feel as though maybe some sort of fever or something. You'd have to kind of feel them to understand where they're at. But they look as though they're almost asleep, even though their eyes are open.
Huh. Do they seem like they're in like harm of like, I don't know, passing out, or like they're just kind of standing there comatose a little bit?
They almost seem a little more comatose, but you can tell just by standing next to them that there's almost this cold aura emanating from them, that your body heat is almost absorbed by them.
Okay. Not magically inclined, so this is completely out of my wheelhouse, unfortunately.
Totally fair. As you
I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna wait, I guess. That's all I really can do.
As you kind of look towards there, trying to gather some form of information from maybe what your mother has taught you, you see Philump try to move over towards Kanato, and with their tiny little arm stalks, grab an arm and looks towards you, Koro. Help me! We'll get them. We'll get them at least out of the street.
That we can do. I just hope that moving them will not cause any additional distress. You should probably still latch onto their brains so they're not tracked.
Oh, very smart. I'll do that. You see Philump kind of suction onto the head, and as you grab the arm, Kanato, please give me a charisma saving throw.
Huge. Here it comes.
Huge. Hey, not bad.
11.
Around you, Kanato, you see the Bannerhands district, a place that you're familiar with. The massive wall of ice known as the Frozen Gate. Guards, and now Philump and Koro attempting to grab you. You aren't certain how you got here. The last you remember, you were in this fog talking to this orcish woman. But as you left and you saw the light of the Bannerhands district in Cold Rock itself, it's as though something followed you. And as Koro seems to grab your hand and Philump kind of touches the top of your head, all three of you see the same thing that has transfixed Kanato since they arrived back in Cold Rock. A shadowy form cast upon the ground of Kanato, staring back, featureless but oppressive. Koro, you also get the feeling that this almost predatory aura from this thing is attempting to lock Kanato in place. But you seem to be frozen in body but not in mind as you hear Kanato and Philump's thoughts kind of connected. Kanato, as you look down, you feel this thing attempting to lock you in place and drag you into this darkness. Please give me a wisdom saving throw.
I believe. No!
We're doing great on the wisdom saves tonight. Real good.
As you look towards this shadow that is marred and constantly almost vexing and prying you, it says no words, but a conversation is had between you in these moments of exchange of thought and presence. It's as though there's this negative hold that's tempting to draw you in, that's commanding you to enter. You see Koro, you see Philump, and your natural instinct to hide or to rest, to scurry away, is somewhat tempered by the fact that you are not alone. Please give me a charisma saving throw.
Just gonna give roll 20 a second. It's a bit better.
What'd you get?
15.
And it's better than your last
15?
roll.
As you look down towards this presence, you feel your mouth, finally yours, warmed by the presence of your lifelong friend Koro and your new friend, this strange Philump. You feel as though you can say something to shatter this presence, and at last you finally feel confident to do so. This vexing presence that would overtake you, you feel as though you can shout at it away. What does Kanato say?
Oh, thank you, Koro.
Gotcha,
As you
buddy.
say Koro's name, Koro as well as Kanato hear Kanato's voice echo the word Koro as it bounces through the shadow before you see this large, dark, oppressive force fade away into Kanato's natural shadow, and all of you are free from whatever bondage had held you there. You then see the guards moving, and the rest of time around you move as normal. I'm so glad you're safe, Kanato. I was so worried. I couldn't detect your thoughts, and I didn't know where you were.
I don't think I was strong enough to fight off whatever that was alone. Oh my. Thank you for coming.
Kara, you look down towards Kanato and where the shadow was, recognizing that the natural shadow from the overhead sun should have cast it behind Kanato, not ahead of it, but is now forming in its natural state. You have no idea what could have caused this, but you are quite certain that your presence there had bolstered Kanato's resolve. Well, should we head home? Yeah.
Yes. I kind of want to be around other people now.
Oh, okay. Uh, you all look a bit shocked. I will try to be brave. Follow me, as you see them still suctioned onto your head, try to like move forward towards the Eva's estate.
I will.
I'm
also
assuming you will
kinda
follow.
Shake off,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll follow.
Okay. Give me a quick Arcana check if you can, Kanato.
23.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
You look
Oh.
at your hands as you begin to walk. Oh.
I thought it was both for both of us. I apologize. Ignore that.
Oh well, no, you can glean some information
No,
as well.
I'm good.
Okay. As you continue to walk, Kanato, you see your shadow a bit more attached to your hand as you almost feel it wisping with you, giving you the indication that you have more control of whatever strange, almost elemental force inside you, as though, despite the experience being certainly terrifying, you're stronger from it. As you take a few steps closer towards and away from the frozen gate, you walk towards a even city streets of, again, more casual affair of Cold Rock. Making your way towards Koro's home, we will pause you there. Ash,
Hello.
you arrive within the stairs in front of the office of one Henry the Golden. You see Remington's ears fall flat on their sides as you and your mouse companion hear what sounds like a raging argument inside. Can we really trust that none of these fiends nor orcs don't have ties to the Eternal Fleet that is taking so much ground and killing so many? You hear aloud a second voice that you recognize as Inri. Perhaps they are true. But those in our ranks can be pact sworn to our enemies just as easily as our orcish and fiendish kin. So you will not support the proposal? I will not. You then see you hear what sounds like a stomping of feet as, pushing out from the office door, you see an electrum-colored dragonborn angrily take a few steps away as he seems to notice you. Looking you up and down, he seems to say, maybe you can talk some old sense to the old man. He takes a snorting breath and storms off into somewhere else within the stairs.
Ash will pause for a minute, kind of just like, I don't know what's going on, but this is not my business. And we'll check again to see if this symbol is still there.
You see the symbol, and kind of feel it is still there as well. Does seem to be unnoticed by this dragonborn that just walked past you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so no change in the time it took to get over here.
Correct. It's not hurting anymore, at least.
Okay, Ash will approach the doorway and kind of like knock on the door frame.
Oh, please, come in. You're most welcome. Apologies for Arzelius. A bit fiery, that one.
No worries. In
Taking
Enry, sir.
taking a few
I
steps in, you see what looks like a rather kind office with a fireplace. It's not roaring, but comfortably warm. As you see the old gold scale dragonborn sitting behind his desk with what looks like a few chairs in front of it. Uh, uh, please, you're most welcome in. Ash, was it?
yes,
Please, have a seat.
Ash will sit.
Again, my sincerest apologies for Arzelius's uncouth behavior. Things have been rather difficult for. Well, why are you here?
Um, well, I was hoping maybe you could answer a few questions for me.
Of course, I love answering questions. It's one of my favorite things.
Ash will sort of, kind of expose or like point out the symbol and just ask, "Have you ever seen this before?"
Now, that is interesting. I cannot say that I have. But by Bahamut, something about it does seem familiar. Seems to toy with some of the whiskers on his snout. Where are my manners? He seems to clap twice as you feel the presence of unseen servants begin to move a mass amount of food from the larder onto the table in front of you. You must be hungry, young wormling like yourself growing.
Ash's eyes are gonna kind of, dart a little bit to the side, a little embarrassed.
Food.
Oh, by
Maybe
all
just a
means,
little bit.
by all means, help yourself. As the you see Inri kind of take a few steps away and start looking through a few books. Last time I saw you, I did not notice that mark before. It is unique enough that I'm pretty sure I would have noticed. What marked the change?
Well, I was training earlier, training my breath, and suddenly I felt this burning sensation, and there it was, and um, it hasn't. I still feel the sensation. It hasn't gone away. Koro's father, Tarzanatar? Is
Yes.
that it?
Yep, you got it.
He was with me at the time, and he recommended that I visit you.
Senator. An interesting choice of teacher. Not a bad one by any means. He seems to find a book as you eat, and he sits back down at his desk, begin pouring through it. You are not from Cold Rock originally, right?
I don't believe so. No.
No shame in that. Neither was I. Part of the fleet of Bahamut, if you believe it. Those crusading days are long behind me now. But if this book is any indication, it seems to be a realm marker, something tying you to a different material plane than here, something outside the demi-plane. If you don't mind, I can take a magical impression and be able to search a bit more easily.
Sure. Go ahead.
You eat on some more fish and grapes and cheeses
Well, I'm
as
already on my seconds.
as Inri places a magical hand over the mark and makes an illusory script from it before casting it onto a page. An unseen servant seems to take it and begins to move through a number of books, far quicker than any mortal hand can go, for searching this large collection of knowledge. As they do, with books being searched into the deeper and deeper sections of the library, the scarier looking books being opened more and more as time goes on, you can't help but feel your pulse begin to elevate ever so slightly. As finally, an old dusted tome is brought forward from, again, an unseen servant to Inri. He opens the book slowly. Each page turning feels impossibly slow, for finally he places his finger on it. Ah, it would seem that it is a mark that ties you to a plane of birth or origin, one specifically known as the realm of Athos and the Dark Sun. Please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. We're due, right? We're due. We're due. No!
We're doing
Why?
great on the wisdom saves.
No, we have somebody has to.
None of us are good at wisdom.
Fuck.
You shut up.
Your
I am.
mind.
You're the only one that's good at wisdom.
Yeah, make Koro roll it.
Your mind travels to a memory, a distant one that somehow feels foreign to you, but still able to be recalled in vivid detail. A desert of cracked earth, a world begging for water and any form of shelter from this beating and massive reddish sun that does not give sunlight but oppressive heat. You remember seeing a number of draconic bones and forms that were maladjusted and did not grow to their proper size, strange abominations of dragon kind withered, drying, and dying on this planet. But what it is and where it is and why you remember it, you don't quite know with that roll, unfortunately. But as you take a breath out, your memory returns as, again, echoing in your ear, you hear the words Athos. You return with what appears to be Remington attempting to cool you off with a small bit of washcloth from your neck as you feel very warm and sweaty and tired. Inri looks towards you, book now closed, with what appears to be a medical poultice of some kind of applying it to your forehead. Oh, my dear, I, I'm not sure what overcame you, but this is a wave of exhaustion and fatigue had struck you. Are you all right?
Ash is just kind of looking a little like disoriented and a little confused, but we'll look at Henry and just say, Athos. What what is Athos?
It is a realm. I know very little about it, but from the book that I was able to glean, it is a place of powerful but dwindling magics. It is a plane that not many can, and indeed try to leave or go towards. I don't know why it has relevance upon you, but it seems that you have some form of magic connection to that place.
Ash is gonna look down at the symbol and or well, I mean, you can't really look, but kind of feel around, and it's still really warm, huh?
Yes.
I hope this feeling won't persist.
I must say I have seen many people with draconic lineage, many different kinds of dragonborn, perhaps, but I've never seen anyone with your features, how you grow and implement yourself. I cannot say. Your physiology is quite alien to me. I wish I could be more help. But at the very least, I can offer any sort of assistance that you might have as far as questions, or I can at least make sure you get home safe, wherever home may be.
Ashley's gonna kind of just sit in thought for a little while, looking at the fireplace. Do you know of anyone who's ever been to that plane or came from it?
I can't say that I have. Again, I have seen many travelers come to Cold Rock and this demi-plane, but I've never even heard of this atlas until I read it within the book.
Hmm.
However, there are those of the Silver Sails who do travel various planes and have encountered all sorts of strange phenomenon. Perhaps if we find another member of the Silver Sails, they might be able to piece together what I cannot.
Do I know where I'd be able to find them?
You aren't certain. You've heard of the Silver Sails being a fleet that travels on the fringes of the realm between realms, usually trying to stop any forces of Tiamat that might form. But you've not heard of them being at Cold Rock in a long time. Please, you look like you've gone through something horrible. Um, at the very least, let me help you escort you home.
Sure. Thank you.
He kind of tries to get some of your effects gathered together as Remington kind of stuffs a quick bit of cheese in his cheek for the road, as eating now 2 full days worth of rations in a single sitting. Please give me a constitution save with advantage because you ate so much.
15.
15. You stretch yourself, feeling a cold center of your body. The pain of this marking very quickly diminishes as you stand renewed, not as exhausted as you thought perhaps you would be, considering what you had just encountered, but ready to walk, go back to the Evis estate, and hopefully find a silver sail at some point. Are you ready to go? You hear from Henry as he kind of gathers on a traveling cloak.
Yeah, I think so.
Where to?
Well, we can go to the Evis estate.
Evis estate, Evis estate. Oh, right, where Torzenatar lives, yes?
Yes.
I think I've been there once before. Very wonderful wife and son. Um, quite skilled at the arts of healing. Yes, he sort of takes a few steps outside before whistling, as from somewhere behind his office, you see a creature appear. One not quite a lion nor a dragon, but a winged combination of both. Something that you recall seeing or hearing about as a dragonelle. A strange mount of powerful uh, strength and speed. Uh, this is Buttercup. She will fly you back where you need to go.
Huh. Ash will just kind of tilt their head a little bit and look at Inri. Buttercup? Do they speak?
They can, but usually only to people that they trust. Don't worry, she does not bite unless provoked.
Ash will approach and just Ash will hold out their hand and just say hello.
You see this golden, strange creature kind of sniff your hand, look towards Remington, and almost in an instant, you see an intelligence from this creature eye you up and down, understand that you are not a threat, before lowering its head, and you see a saddle on its back.
Ash is gonna look back to Inri like for affirmation. Like, is this good? Did I do right?
He seems to lean on his staff, just smile towards you, kind kind of his eyes halfway closed, as though he's also very tired. And as you look up, you do see the sun sigil beginning to set on the ceiling of Cold Rock.
In that case, yeah, Ash will hop on.
As you do, you feel the strength of Buttercup's muscles very quickly and powerfully move up into the air as Remington holds on to a bit of your shirt for dear life before you plunge up into the air and towards the Evis estate, down the stairs and further into the Banner Hands. We will pause you there. Fenris.
Aye.
You take a few steps further into the Wands District, making the sizable and comfortable trek from the Temple of Moradin deep into the Wands District, as you had somewhat recently. But to your maybe dismay, you do see outside of the Wands District the walls that would keep it safe from any invaders that would attack the Golden Gate seems to be vandalized and carved another eye of Orcus, another eye of Grumpsh, the god of orcs, as you get this feeling that there are a number of people within the Wands who are trying to not fix the damage done to the walls, but almost ignore it.
Interesting.
Looking around, you don't notice any orcs, but you definitely recognize the iconography of the orcish god.
Have I seen it around before, or is this the first time that I've seen it on Cold Rock?
You occasionally have seen it around more of the residential quarters where many of the orcs tend to reside, but it was always more of a almost niche god. It wasn't really too well practiced. Within the Shrines District, there are simply no temples to the destructive orcish god, but it seems odd now that you're seeing it a bit more prevalent, at least within the Wands here, a place that's not traditionally known to house a lot of orcs.
Mm-hmm. Does it look like it was something that was carved as like part of a ritual, or does it look like it's been here for some time?
It looks relatively new, as though someone very quickly and kind of poorly carved it into the wall.
Huh. Can I analyze it to figure out how fresh it was, or?
Sure. You can give me either I guess investigation would be the closest thing here.
Sure. Let's take a look. 13-ish?
13?
Yep.
You get the sense that it was done within the last few days, and it looks not religious nor magical in nature. It looks almost as though it's attempting to intimidate the people who live either within the Wands District or people approaching from the Golden Gate into Cold Rock itself.
So no, I'm familiar that there's an orcish leader of Cold Rock. Does this look like something that they have used to keep the peace in the districts? Or does this look like it's maybe a local gang that did this?
You've been at Cold Rock for a while, so go ahead and give me a history, and I'll give you advantage on this.
I will take that. Oh boy, I needed it. That's a nat 20.
Nat 20? Oh, very well. As you recall from your histories, the admiral, when he was before he was the portmaster of Kurnesh, didn't renounce Grumpsh, but did significantly have I don't want to say crisis of faith, but a falling out with the Orcish god, recognizing that the Orcish god would not be able to challenge the Yellow, but a unity of these various peoples within the demiplane coming together could. This allyship flew into direct opposition of Grumpsh's will, and as a result, they haven't really been practiced or worshipped by at least the portmaster now since.
Okay.
You also know with the natural 20 that a seemingly type of paladin of Grumpsh was the eldest son of Kurnesh was a paladin of sorts of Grumpsh and was killed by this seemingly betrayal of Kurnesh's loyalties.
Got it. Do I feel like if this is being used to intimidate people, which I'm not a fan of, if I were to attempt to remove this so that people are not intimidated by it, do I feel like that would cause more trouble than it's worth, or do I feel like I could get away with it since it's been a couple days since this was put up?
You feel as though you could take a few minutes to try and get rid of as much damage as you could. Definitely don't feel as though Kurnesh or any official capacity has put this eye here.
Then,
but
okay.
it will take a bit of laborious labor. So go ahead and give me, we'll say, a Constitution save.
I'm good with
You
that.
can't fail it, but it's just how long it takes.
5. It's going to take me a minute.
It takes you a little while. What was the kind of early to midday sun is now nearing a sunset of sorts within the sigils on the ceiling. However, you're pretty confident and fairly happy that you've made it so unless you get really close to it, you can't really see the symbol anymore. And surrounding you are a number of mostly Korshani and other types of elves who are thankful at your effort.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not have, or do you have inspiration?
I do.
Then you may instead increase your honor by 1 if you wish.
I will do so. All right. Okay. Done.
Feeling happy with your work at this point, or at the very least satisfied, you continue through the Wands district until you find what appears to be an outdoor fountain. At its center, the crested pentagram and eye of Bakab. No one seems around, unlike the other places within the Shrines district, which have large clergy and a community to help worship and praise these gods, many of whom have not been fully heard within the realm between realms, but still worshipped the same. Instead of this congress of people, you see one person, a single Korshani, as she seems to be tending to the gardens around the fountain.
I would like to slowly approach the statue and see if they at any point attempt to stop me, or if they are doing something that I might disturb. But if not, I'm going to attempt to get as close as I can to see what the statue is all about.
Sure. As you walk kind of into the paved walkway of the garden, you see the Korshani look towards you, and with a smile, "Heaven's sight and blessings to you. I am Raelyun," you hear him say. Type it there.
A bit caught off guard with the religious stuff, he will bow his head respectfully. And to you as well, Fenris. And he will keep his head down.
I know many of the Korshani who travel through Cold Rock, at the very least within the shrines. I do not believe I know your face. May I have your name?
Fenris, Kerene. I've been here for some time.
Kerene. I don't recognize that last name either. Well, apologies, I do not mean to be rude, just trying to understand the formalities. Are you a lord or of the magical caste?
No, not particularly.
Oh, then I suppose that deference is not fully needed. As I said, I am Raelyun. I am at your service if you wish, but you have entered, perhaps unknowingly, the presence of the altar of Bakab, the only one on Cold Rock.
This is the only one to him. Them.
Yes.
It. Sorry, I'm very new to all this. I don't suppose I could approach the statue.
Of course. It is there for anyone who wishes to gain insight within the stars and the planes themselves.
Fenris will, for the first time in a while, since this isn't combat related, very much show that he doesn't know what he's doing, but will try to approach respectfully. Are there any carvings, writings, anything on this, or is it just a statue in honor of Bakab?
You see what appears to be the symbol of Bakab on top of a stone column surrounded by a little bit of water in this fountain. And in front of that, kind of just in front of the lip of the fountain, on the ground are a number of pillows that you presume are for sitting or for kneeling on. And in front of that, you see etched into the stone fountain seems to be, within the Korshani version of Elven, what appears to be a prayer.
and I'm able to read it.
You are, yes. You see
Okay.
Aurelian move over towards you before taking something out of a pouch and kind of motioning for your hands.
Fenris will extend his hands.
I get the sense that you have not prayed to Bacab in some time.
I have not. It's been a very long journey for me.
You see his hands now from the pouch covered in this, what you can tell is diamond dust. He offers your hands to be placed within the pouch as well. As you can tell, he's kind of smearing it and rubbing it into his hands.
Fenris will do so and try to mimic the same motions.
Now, take a breath. Do not close your eyes, but find a similar meditative state. Recite the words and allow yourself to open your mind to whatever vexes you. Perhaps a flash of insight might gleam itself from Bacab's will.
Fenris will exhale deeply and will then take a knee, both knees actually. He'll kneel completely on one of the pillows, and then he will read the inscription.
Okay.
And as he kind of takes it in once and reads it, he will then begin to speak it aloud. O arcane master of the stars and plains, give me might through understanding, patience through cunning, and victory through intellect. And when the day is won, aid me to back unto humility, so that I may better see your cosmic duality. And he will once again exhale deeply and attempt to not fully go into a trance, but eyes open, focus on his breathing, and try to empty his mind and let whatever comes come.
As you breathe out and you find this near meditative state, you find yourself at a loss for air trying to breathe back in. Please give me a wisdom save with advantage as you were supported.
Another wisdom save.
That's right. I'm due. We're due. I believe. 19! We're due.
All right. You catch your breath and reflexively doing so, open your eyes. What you see in front of you is not a fountain, nor even cold rock, but instead the vastness of the demiplane itself. At its center, not the sun like you expected, but a titanic shape of stars that take the form of a man. Its pattern glows towards you as its arms continue to move various planets using magic, keeping them in orbit, making sure that magic flows through them. You see this titan of divine and arcane energy keeping the rotations of various worlds afloat. You hear a booming voice from what you can only tell is the visage of Bacab himself.
Oh, God.
Whom enters my domain?
Fenris will, while keeping his eyes open, immediately make sure that his head is down and almost fall into himself. My name is Fenris Kerene. You honor me with your presence.
No. I do not find honor for any. I find you to be in a place that you were not invited. But still, we cannot help but discover that there is more than your presence here. You have been wounded in some way.
I have. Do I have the chain weapon on me?
You do.
I am going to pull it out and almost place it, because I guess I'm kind of in the ether, before me, and I will lay it out and point to the chain. At one time, these were embedded in my very flesh, until recently.
You were wounded by that of which I cannot see, and yet you stand before me with magic now flowing through your body. How is this possible?
Fenris is going to first process that he said that there is magic in his veins, and then immediately shake that off to try to respond. I do not have an answer to that question.
Huh. I am one who seeks knowledge as much as I give. If you do not have an answer for me, then you will leave instead with a commandment. The weeping god cannot be allowed to rise, lest more of this tainted substance that would destroy the very fabric of magic be allowed to rise with them. When the hour of the owl arises, you must listen. Is this accepted?
It is.
You see the large figure continually moving the orbits around until, moments after you agree, a strange sequence of tentacles begin to reach around your body. For the first time in this brief conversation, you notice this mighty deity stop what it's doing and look towards you for the first time, almost out of fear. Its eyes glow with an astral form as you feel this tendril try to grab you. You see the very hand of Bakab reach and cast some form of magical spell, as suddenly you are ejected back into your body, bound flying back onto your back, really, in front of this fountain and this well. You see Raelyun take a few steps away from the pillow and move towards you. Are you okay?
I think so.
What's happened?
I believe I was blessed by the presence of Bakab himself.
That has not happened in many an age. He seems to move forward and places what you can tell is holy water on your head. It seems to cool in place along your brow, giving you a sense of calm and composure as you feel now deeply wounded from your experience. Please give me an intelligence save.
Oh no. Why
You
you
got
do
this.
why you do this? All right, you know what?
It is the Lord of Knowledge. I'm sorry.
I believe in a thing called love. No, it's a 3. It's a 3.
You take a heavy and labored breath as you suffer from 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh, that's not great.
And until you long rest, count as having 1 death saving throw failed.
Oh, why though? Oh.
As your eyes glow in starry form, a light away from you begins to diminish ever so slightly. You take a labored breath, hearing this commandment from your god, but having no idea what caused you to break or sever this connection. You no longer hear the whispers that you heard that guided you here. You aren't certain what caused this, nor necessarily what this hour of the owl might be, but you are certain that you heard his words well. You see Raelyun look towards you, kind of marring some of the damage you have taken. What can I do to help?
Is there any significance behind the phrase, the hour of the owl?
The owl. When Bakab was a mortal man, he was able to. He had a companion, a magical friend that was an owl, but his iconography is that of an owl's feather.
But is there anything in the scriptures, the text, something that speaks about the hour of the owl, a time of day, a place, perhaps a metaphor for something?
The hour of the owl. It sounds familiar, but it's not typically within at least the obvious text of Bakab. Give me a moment. As he hands you a health potion that doesn't really seem to do anything, at least mechanically, but it does seem to make you feel at least a little better superficially.
It'll calm his blood pressure.
Yeah. He runs towards the opposite end of the shrined garden and pulls out a dusty tome before returning to you. The Hour of the Owl. It says the Hour of the Owl is a call, a message to Bakob's greatest champions to follow, a sign from Bakob himself that when he is in great need, he will need something or someone or some people to enact his will. It is marked by not only the falling of owl feathers like rain, but trumpets within the air, magically summoned.
Trumpets and owls. Then I suppose I am waiting for a sign.
I believe so. I wish I could be more help of you if...
No, you have been a tremendous help. He's going to quickly look on the ground and grab his weapon that he put into the ether that I assume is now probably still on the ground, and stand back up.
Are you staying within the Ones district? Is there anywhere I can take you?
I believe I should seek out my friends. I haven't checked up on them, and they'll probably want to know what I found.
Please, I have a device that will help you get there sooner. Just show me where it is, as he kind of reveals an illusory map of Cold Rock.
I will point out Koro's house, or at least the district.
You see what appears to be a similar form to what you can identify as a tensor's floating disk, though pretty significantly modified. Go. This will take you there. And if I find anything else, I suppose I will try to find you there.
You have my thanks. I apologize for my stuttering and lack of composure. It's
of course.
It has been a day.
Indeed. Bakob's light go with you.
Thank you. And Fenris will take off.
As you return, all of you, some together, some alone, to the Evis estate with a long day of work and knowledge gained, you all see each other down the street from the Evis estate, moving towards the Koro's home. Some of you might recognize and remark this strange magical disc that Fenris is on, or the large beast that now has landed and is almost guarding Ash on their travel forward. But what is immediately remarkable and astonishing to your eyes, perhaps in a sense of horror, you find Koro's estate not in ruin, but vandalized. What looks to be rocks and bricks thrown into the glass, its door ripped open, with Kalani, injured but alive, in front of it, a sword bloody in hand, and what appears to be some form of graffiti above Koro's door that reads, "The Blood War never ends." For tonight, that's where we're going to call it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Well, that's not great.
I would very much like not to lose the house of another friend.
I was going to say, we have a real bad track record right now, and I don't like that we're on track to do it again.
So you've made some enemies.
Shit.
I think we tried to make
We made
enemies.
some friends, though.
Poor Koro, man.
You can also make some friends.
Oh, man. Well, at least they're not dead. There's a chance.
Yeah. Thank you all for coming out.
Boy. No, thank you for having us. Oh, my goodness.
I wrote so many notes.
I was going to say.
The most notes. All right. I guess we should go around the horn, yeah?
Yeah, I suppose we'll start off with you.
All right, sounds good. You can find me at EdBoscoVA on both Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and right here on twitch.tv/EdwardBosco. Check out all my streams. Tomorrow's going to be a really fun Billy Bust Up stream around 12 p.m. PST, finishing up Halo Lasso. Unexpectables has been replaced with Ravenloft, which I will be running this Wednesday. Find out where your cow is. It's going to be great. Thursdays, Throwback Thursdays, we're doing Legacy of Kain. Fridays is wrestling. Saturdays, Yakuza, and some more Gobtober. And then right back here on Monday for Mass Effect and more of this. What have we done? That is me.
All right. And Monty's good friend Shay.
Yeah, I can be found here on Mondays, hanging out, doing some D&D, and I can be found on Monty's channel on Thursdays, playing some D&D. That's it.
Very
Mm.
Oh, very good. Evie, you want to plug yourself this time, or are you just gonna say sure?
Don't know. I've made a stream schedule. I'll be streaming every Tuesday before Halo Night and during Halo Night. So at the very least, that'll always be every week from now on. Come hang out. I've got pretty into Super Animal Royale. Maybe we could play Dark Tide at some point, Zane.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down. The new updates
Me
out,
too,
so
please.
absolutely, of course.
I'm sorry that Cora saved me and took upon my curse.
The housing
Yeah, what
curse.
have
Exactly
you done?
What happened?
What
He
have you
saved me
done?
and took upon my curse.
Oh, God. So
See,
what we're learning is let you die.
I'm safe because I don't have a house.
Yo, what, you
True.
say that? Cold
You
World
s-
gets destroyed.
I was going to
Boom.
say, you've destroyed the whole planet.
Oh no.
There's always something to
That's fine,
lose.
We get to be space pyre.
Artsy Hartsy, where can they find you? What are you up to?
Twitch.tv/artsyhartsy. I haven't been streaming much lately, but trying to fix that. Twitter, all the other places, pretty much the same username everywhere. Artsyhartsy. I do art sometimes. Yeah.
All right. Monty, are you there?
Yep.
Okay. Did you want to plug yourself, or you good?
Yeah, you can find me at Montyglue on Twitter. You can find me on twitch.tv/Montyglue. You can find me on Montyglue on Blue Sky and Montyglue at YouTube. Streams Thursday, Mad Mage maybe, and then Friday Final Fantasy and Monday Mass Effect. That's it.
Okay. And that leaves me. You could find me back here on Monday nights around 7 p.m., where we come back for more of this. Tuesdays, you could find me during the day, hopefully, maybe MechWarrior Online. In the evenings, we're going to be hopefully finishing off, I'm pretty sure finishing off Halo Reach Lasso. And then Thursdays, potentially more Mad Mage. Aside from that, you might be able to find me late nights in the evenings during Spooky Month playing some more I'm on observation duty with a few friends. And aside from that, that is me. If you want to find the VODs, the previous episodes, you can go to my Twitter, Zanny_Rim. That's the one. And you can find a link to those there. Aside from that, thank you so much for joining. And I guess we got to find somebody to raid, right? Oh, Thero's on.
Well.
Robot art.
They're working on their
Robot
new
art.
project, Oversoul, that they announced the other day.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you to Thero. Everyone, be kind to Thero. What should the raid message be?
Um,
The raid message should be, I don't have a problem with it.
I don't know. I got a problem with it. Go
Shit's illegal.
get him.
Aside from that, go forth, be free, enjoy the rest of your week, and we
Have
will
fun.
see you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.